5, 4,
4,
3, 2, 1.
Oh, well, it doesn't matter because we've got the 5, 4, 3, 2. We know what we're doing now.
Grandpa's got a gun.
He shot my nanny in the ferry. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Obscene and childish playground.
It's funny how
songs.
those old sayings spread across the country, though. I mean,
It is, isn't it? It really is. Because there's somebody in fucking Glasgow and somebody in Cornwall, and they're both singing the same rude song based on a TV advert for a chocolate bar.
Yeah.
You know? This was in the days before the internet,
yeah.
etc.
My name's Coco. I live in a tree. I sell condoms for 35p.
No, I must have hadn't heard.
Oh,
that
okay.
one. Very good.
That didn't spread that far up north then. So.
Oh, right.
Hello there, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the 2018 E3 podcast that we do every single year. Isn't that right, Stuart?
It certainly is.
Yes.
I mean, I'm not saying that this is the UK's premier E3 podcast, but if you were to spread that lie, it would really help us professionally.
It would, yes. So we do agree. We do appreciate all your spamming.
More than anything.
Yes, especially now on YouTube. So.
Yeah, oh yes. Yeah, YouTube won't tell anyone this exists, so you have to. Yeah. Oh dear.
So, what did you think of E3 this year then?
Well, awful lot of games, and several that I'm interested in. It was quite a good year for that. I didn't watch any of them live, but I hear that, some of the... How can we put this politely? Some of the presentations were better than the others. I think is a very diplomatic way of putting it.
I would, yes, exactly, yes. There's also the best thing about watching them later on is you don't have to sit through all them bloody people you don't know going on stage and going blah, blah, blah. I just want to see the bloody footage.
I cannot stand it. I really can't. Just here's a load of corporate bullshit.
Yeah.
Hooray.
Here's a YouTuber you've never heard of.
Hooray! Look, everyone, it's Billy No Scope 37.
Yeah.
Who? He's got 20 million subscribers. What? How come literally nobody's heard of him?
And
He's got a really big family.
Yeah,
You know?
and he's corpsing on stage.
Yeah, hooray!
Yay!
Oh, dearie me. It's, corporate events are never fun if you have to sit through the whole thing, let's face it. But there was at least one person in a panda costume, I believe, so there was at least something of interest.
Oh, yeah, well, that was a Ubisoft, wasn't it? Trying to spam their Just Dance game again every year.
Oh, God. Do you know, I haven't even made a note of Just Dance because it's just such a thing now. It's like making a note that clouds exist.
It's
You know
just
what I mean?
background noise.
Yeah, it literally is.
Background noise 2018. Starring a bloke in a panda suit and some girls wearing purple.
I very occasionally play it on the old Kinect 2. Yes, I'm one of the 3 people in the world who has one because I didn't have a choice at the time. And it must be Just Dance 2015 or something, and it's still absolutely fine, you know.
And the songs are still relevant.
Yeah, that's the thing. Most of the songs you're interested in are the older ones anyway, you know.
Well, I'm just amazed we've actually talking about music in this podcast because I don't think we ever brought up Just Dance in the past, have we?
Not that I recall, but then if we did, I wouldn't recall anyway because it's Just Dance.
It
really is Just Dance. Anything new? No,
just
Dance.
Just fucking dance.
Shut up and dance. The musical. No. Well, that's got that out of the way. Now we sound really with it.
Yes. So which presentation do you want to talk about first?
So let's start with Sony this year, shall we?
Oh, okay.
Why the devil not? Let's go Sony, Microsoft, Nintendo, and then the others.
Yes.
So quite a lot of stuff from old Sony this year.
Quite a bit, yes.
To say the goddamn least. And one of the big things that has upset everyone is no cross-format play. At a time when everyone else is going, yeah, cross-format, play on your Xbox One and play on your Switch against each other, Sony are like, no.
Yeah.
No.
Picked their ball up and gone home. So.
Yeah, this is my ball, I'm the captain, and you can't play.
No.
But they are in a position of power because they are sort of the best-selling console by a fair margin, aren't they? But all the same, it's not very nice, is it, guys? I mean, like, if you've got a Fortnite account linked to your PS4, you can't play against people on Switch or Xbox One.
No.
Like, that's it. It's locked off.
Well, this happened with Rocket League, didn't it, as well? That you could play.
It did, didn't it?
You play cross-play with everyone else except on PlayStation 4. And it's just them saying, oh, it's to help our shareholders. You know, your shareholders don't feet put bread on your table, do they? So.
No, they don't. they take money out. That's kind of what they exist for. Oh man, that's. I mean, I know they have to take this crap into consideration because company and all that, but at the end of the day, you have to keep up with the rest of the market, or you're going to start losing ground. You know. And God knows the bloody console market with every success, I'm trying to think of the next word. I can't think of the words. Successive. That's the word. With every successive launch, you've got a chance of fucking it up mightily.
Like I mean, it was putting in Connect.
Yes, exactly.
Connect and talking about NFL constantly for your presentation.
And nothing about games whatsoever. And then having to backtrack to an extent which is almost unbelievable to this day. Yes. Oh, dear.
Every company always messes up on their third console. I don't know if it's this sort of bad luck thing.
It really is, isn't it? It's just God, but cool. I think Xbox or the Xbox One original launch stuff may be some of the worst. Really was astonishing.
Well, Rise, Son of Rome.
Yeah,
that was good. God. A game that was supposed to be a Kinect game that was so broken they just turned it into a third-person hack and slash.
Yeah, and really boring one at that. Oh God!
Well, you only bought it because it looked nice and something to show off.
Yeah, I had to have a copy when I did the Xbox One X because. If not, what have you got to show, you know? Ends up I didn't even bloody show it. It was so boring. I didn't bother using any footage from anything, if you remember.
Unfortunately, YouTube demands after, please do not operate heavy machinery after watching this footage.
Gladiators. Yeah, no, that was bloody hell. Anyway, modern days, so saying no Switch crossplay for you, no Xbox crossplay for you, you bastards.
Do you think they will go back on this?
Don't know. I mean, they've made like a statement since, but the statement was so vague. It was just like, we are aware that people talk.
Yes.
And, you know, that was pretty much
We are aware that people play games on other systems.
Yes.
But we don't want to play with them.
No. We only play with cool kids. Yeah. And the cool kids are just me.
We only like to have our paying members in a supportive ecosystem under our control.
Yeah, but we're not creepy, honest.
Yes. You don't mind us using your information, do you? So.
I think they'll be forced to at some point down the line if it's a big success for the others, but if not, they will fight against it.
Well, they
considerable amount of time.
Cut their own nose to spite their face with Fortnite, as it's massive now.
Well, that's the thing. It's like the biggest thing. Everybody under the age of 12 plays at least 28 hours of Fortnite every day. You know, and that's a scientific fact.
And the rest of the time is practicing dancing in the street.
And an hour for Minecraft before bed. Yeah. And then Minecraft during bed. And then Minecraft in their dreams. Yeah, I don't know. It's interesting that it's Sony that have pulled this, because usually it's Nintendo who are the sort of most walled off or just don't have online at all or something, you know. But yeah, how the times change.
It's bizarre. So yes, but speaking of, but what about their games they announced this year?
Oh man, so many games and so little details on quite a lot of them. So there's a new Spider-Man game, isn't there?
Yes, Spider-Man Arkham Asylum, yes.
Oh man, I literally wrote that in my notes here. Yeah, I'm glad it wasn't just me. I've written it for another game as well, actually. But yeah, it's one of those things. It's not based on the films, is it? It's kind of its own Spider-Man thing. No. It always comes back with Spider-Man is, can they get the web swinging to be fun? Because for some reason they only managed it in Spider-Man 2.
It's bizarre, isn't it?
It's really weird, and I've never quite managed to get it again.
PS1 Spider-Man game was quite good.
Oh, yeah, that came out of nowhere at the time, didn't it? There was a sequel to that. Yeah, when I say Spider-Man 2, I mean the movie game, not the sequel to the sort of comic booky one. But yeah, if they can get the web swinging right, it's half the battle for a Spider-Man game, I think, isn't it? Because it's just fun to travel around, and that's an important thing. But as for the game itself, who knows? It's Spider-Man. It's got lots of villains in. What else do you expect? You know?
It's looking quite interesting. I mean, is this one you'll be picking up?
I don't know. I may be if the swinging is good, because I never played Spider-Man 2, and everybody to this day says how amazingly fun it was. So I really should, you know, have a bash at that game mechanic at the very least.
That sounds right. Yes. So yes, they've shown off Days Gone again for the 10th year running.
But see, I've not even written that down because I still don't fully understand even what is the situation with Days Gone.
Well, they've definitely announced it's going to be coming out next year, next March. So, but apparently, a little birdie on Twitter tells me, who's somebody definitely not called Pepsi Showdown, they said that the game was supposed to be out last year, and this E3, they were announcing the sequel.
No,
that was the plan, yeah, but it's gone through development hell, so the game is either absolutely terrible or
bloody hell,
full of loot crate microtransactions.
Yeah, that not surprised me. Bloody hell, I can't even. And what is this, like, post-apocalyptic third-person game? Isn't it?
I mean, I did hear it was originally supposed to be like a spin-off of The Last of Us.
So it's going to be very much that kind of ethos with the freaky zombie types.
Yes, mushroom zombies.
Aren't they actually called freakies or something?
Shrombies.
Shrombies? I don't know.
I think I don't know what they're called in this game. Is there always some sort of stupid unwritten law that the world doesn't know what the zombie is?
Yes, so they have to call them something absolutely ridiculous.
Walkers or freakos or.
Because the word zombie, they've decided, isn't cool enough for their new IP.
Yeah, we're just being pretentious. That it's in a world where they don't know what zombies are.
Isn't the main guy in it played by the guy who was the apprentice in Force Unleashed?
I don't know.
Oh, I may have got that wrong. Hang on. I may have to look this up. Hang on.
Why would you have a game character playing another game?
Oh, no. I think they mean the same actor. Not actually. Not actually the apprentice. Well, saying that, the apprentice did appear in fucking Soul Calibur, so maybe. The player controls Deacon St. John, Sam Witwer. Yes, Sam Witwer's him, isn't he? Does the voice of Darth Maul these days as well. And,
okay. How poor old Peter Serafinowicz got kicked out then.
Yeah, because they changed Maul's character so fundamentally that he even talks differently now. I think to sort of differentiate him from the,
Yeah, remember that, people. If you get your legs chopped off, it changes your voice.
And who you are entirely. Yes. Because it used to be the whole, at last we will reveal ourselves to the Jedi. And now he kind of sounds more like, I don't know, geography teacher or something.
Sit down in the back, please.
It's not funny to lock me in the cupboard.
Let's all listen to your conversation now, shall we?
Is that gum you're chewing? Well, I hope you brought enough for everyone.
The bell is for me, not for you.
Oh, God, I had a mouthful of water then, nearly lost it. Oh, that's the ultimate one. Yeah. Oh, dearie me. So anyway, supply teacher Darth Maul is what we're taking away from this E3.
And it had his secret cameo in Solo.
Yes, yeah, that's Ray Park coming back.
Is it?
Yeah, that is Ray Park returning, but it is Witwer doing the voice, not lovely Peter, which is a shame. But there we go. As I suppose they have to differentiate the character now because he's so different.
Yeah, well, most people didn't believe it's actually Darth Maul because they thought it was. They think it's somebody else who looks like him because nobody ever watched a cartoon.
Yes, yeah, because Clone Wars he came out, and then in Rebels he hangs around a lot, hassles about, and then dies like a bitch trying to fight Obi-Wan. So,
isn't it weird that the bloody cartoons is a better canon to this series now than the actual Disney movies? So.
But there's so much more of it, I suppose, is that you can do all sorts of stuff when you've got hours and hours and hours and
hours.
Yeah,
no, I'm just saying. I'm trying to point out they're not shit. That's what I'm saying.
Oh, I see.
That's what I'm coming across here. But...
Hock-a-dock. What else we got? Last of Us 2 for some more zombie freaker mushrooms stuff. Yeah. The character in it looks really like Ellen Page.
Yes, actually, Ellen Page actually sued him for the first game.
Fuck.
And lost. Because she was in that other game, wasn't she? That David Cage game.
Yes. Yeah, Thingy Dreams or whatever. No, Quantic Dreams is the company, isn't it? Beyond Two Souls.
Beyond, yes.
So it wasn't officially her in The Last of Us?
No, it's just a huge coincidence. I don't know if they modelled them on her and sort of influenced by her, but because she was in Beyond Two Souls and that, they already technically had her likeness rights. But yeah, she tried to sue her. So.
Well, obviously they've made up because she's definitely in the bloody sequel because it looks exactly like her.
Well, she's grown up a bit or something. Maybe they do.
I still haven't got around to playing The Last of Us. I've got like the remastered one for PS4, and everybody says how good it is, and I've really got to fucking play it at some point.
I love the multiplayer in that. That was great fun. Having to craft everything quickly in that. So find bits of metal around the level and that. You put things together to create traps and bombs and grenades and things.
Ooh.
And a baseball bat with bits of barbed wire and nails sticking through it.
Nice. A classic.
Yes.
Schoolyard classic.
Yes. What we call a twatting stick down here.
Perfect. Your finest twatting stick, please, my good man. I thank you.
These nails are exceptionally sharp.
Beautiful. Tetanus upon everyone. Yeah, other than that, was anything actually revealed data? Because there was a big problem in this E3 where there were a lot of fucking cinematic trailers and no gameplay.
Well, that's what everybody's moaning about Sony in general, that all their games are like these cinematic games. Basically, like, if this is like 20 years ago, they just endlessly release Alone in the Dark. And no, not Alone in the Dark, Another World. Another World of... what's his name? What's the other? Flashback.
Flashback, yes.
Flashback, yeah.
Which they're now releasing again for the Switch.
Yes.
Unbelievably.
Yeah, so Amazon been spamming that to me for the past 2 months. So it's driving me nuts now. What else have they done? What else have they announced?
God, yeah, Last of Us 2. Ghost of Tsushima.
Yes.
I've written Uncharted meets Arkham Asylum in Tenchu. Yeah, sort of feudal Japan kind of samurais and shit. It does look very fucking cool, actually.
It does look very nice, yes.
Nice graphics and nice design and, a proper bit of old sword fighteriness.
It's done by Sucker Punch, the people who made Infamous.
Oh, that I did not realise.
Yes.
I've never played much of the Infamous series.
Oh, they're quite good.
Yeah, I've heard some are better than others. Well, of course they fucking are. They're not all going to be exactly the same quality, are they? But that's interesting.
I do like games where you play as people with superpowers, but not based on a comic series, because it gives them far more sort of leeway what they can do.
Well, yes, that's the thing, isn't it? Oh, how about he goes up there and then he fires at so-and-so and then moves on. Oh, no, I think you'll find, when we look at our character manual here from Marvel, I'm afraid that the character would never do that. No, that would not work.
Actually, yeah, he's afraid of heights.
Yes.
Superman's afraid of heights, is it?
Yes. And
in issue 147, released in 1978, you'll find that he got a bit of vertigo when he went up there. So.
Yeah, and this is to recollect. The fans will notice. The fans will notice. Yes.
And
no,
they bloody will. Obsessive some of them are.
Oh, God. Well, you get that for everything, don't you? Yeah. But, of course, you can totally sidestep that by making up your own thing.
Yes, exactly.
And then not having to pay a bloody fortune in licensing fees, which is so onerous that it probably removes any bloody extra profit you'd make. Anyway, yeah, Ghost of Tsushima looks cool.
I was going to say that's why Superman 64 was ruined as well.
Oh, my God.
Because the beta for the game's actually leaked, and it's actually a much, much better game.
Oh, I must look into that. That's interesting. So in Superman 64's infamous fog fest, basically, isn't it?
Yeah.
No fun at all.
Flying through rings.
You're literally flying through hoops. Not metaphorically, but literally.
Clark Kent's Ring Flyer.
The original working title meant it was banned in Scotland. Oh, dear. No, I'd be interested to see how that comes out. It's got a kind of slight... I don't know, God of War-y feel to it in some of the presentation, which could be a good thing. Don't know, really.
So hopefully it's not going to be another bloody Dark Souls knockoff.
Yeah, that would be enough. It didn't look anything like it, actually, is what I liked about it, because people are just knocking out these Dark Souls knockoffs, and they never quite work, do they? They never quite get, just haven't got the tight level design and the variety, etc. Anyway, we're going to talk about Death Stranding now, I suppose.
Oh, yes.
Kojima's latest Weird Fest.
Did he? Was that at the Sony conference? Yeah, it's a PlayStation exclusive, isn't it?
Yes, I think it was. Yeah. If not, let's just pretend it is because I've written it here. But yeah, it's still sort of, hey, what's the game? But We know you're a courier, and there's like a load of gameplay footage, but it's boring gameplay footage. Like, we need some combat or something else. You know, you got Mads Mikkelsen and his weird umbilical soldiers in it. Show them, you know. But that actual footage they showed, bloody hell! I mean, like, it could have, if you removed the floating umbilical cord ghosts, could have been any game.
Exactly.
That they showed, really, couldn't they? You know, we need something more specific to know how the game's going to work.
Yes. How about a fetus in a jar?
Yes. Hooray!
Yeah.
I'm sold. But yeah, I mean, it's going to be weird as fuck, hopefully.
Yeah, but if you make it weird as fucking purpose, though, you're not going to know what's going on.
This is the thing, is that you've got to have a decent framework around it. I mean, there's nothing wrong with having a load of crazy shit, but you've got to have a game around it. You know?
Yes. Oh, it's got the bloke from Walking Dead in it, and
Reedus.
Yes, Norman Reedus.
That's him. He does sound like a supply teacher as well, doesn't he? I'm Mr. Reedus. I'm taking over this class. Now, where are you in your books?
Yeah.
Guillermo del Toro's in it, isn't he? As kind of himself, which is weird.
Oh wow.
Because he's not, usually an acting man, is he?
Okay, well, this new Silent Hill game all fell through, but I'll bring you on my next game. I'll put you in. I'll find somewhere for you to be in it.
Yeah, you can literally be in it, run around holding a fetus. Enjoy. And there's if I'm trying to think of other little snippets I've picked up. If you get caught in the rain makes you age rapidly.
Does it?
Yeah, it just in the game, not in real life. Don't worry.
Oh, okay.
Or does it? Yeah. And there was something else I picked up. That was it. When you die, you just come back with sort of nothing's happened. It doesn't really matter. But the world gets worse as a result. Like the place where you die turns into a big shitty crater or something. So that could potentially be quite interesting.
How's it come pieced together, though? It just sounds weirder and weirder the more you talk about it, really.
And then when you see the gameplay, it just looks kind of dull. Stealth stuff, you know.
It just comes across a load of pretentious bloody twattery, really.
Well, this is the slight danger, isn't it? Because Kojima Unleashed. This could just be pretentious twattery with nothing behind it. Hopefully, it's going to be fun as fuck. But
and not just a half-finished game where you repeat the same missions and then forget half the things they're building up, like Metal Gear Solid 5.
But yes, fantastic. Game engine, etc. But yeah, well, so the jury's still entirely out on that, isn't it? Really, we need more gameplay footage.
Yes,
to know how it's all going to fit together, and some more fun gameplay footage. Yeah.
So they've not really announced anything, have they? Really, when it's coming out or anything, have they?
Not to my knowledge, no. I mean, it looks fairly far in development, so hopefully not terrifically long.
Well, this is Hideo Kojima, though, so it could be taking another 10 years.
So this comes out for the PlayStation 6. Amazing. Speaking of sort of Dark Souls-alikes, Neo 2 was announced.
Yes.
Did you ever play Neo?
I did not, because I'm getting a bit tired of all these Dark Souls games. I played was it the Scourge?
The Surge, yeah.
Surge, yes, that's it, yeah. Sort of like Dark Souls of robots. It's the Dark Souls of robots.
Yeah, it had cool shit in it. I mean, I liked the way the sort of enemies were these sort of horrifying, hobbled-together cyborgy things and the weird modulated voices, but again, it lacked the variety and the level design. And Neo was better, but I don't know, the feudal Japan thing, I feel it has been done to death a bit. And I don't know, again, I think lack of variety was the killer for Neo. The actual gameplay is solid as fuck. It's good, but yeah, it just didn't hold my interest.
No, like I said, I never played the original, so that sort of didn't interest me, really.
No, I feel exactly the same, to be honest.
And they're going to be making another one, aren't they? An all-new Dark Souls game called Sekiro: Shadows Die Twice.
Oh, yes. That came up under did that come up under the Microsoft conference, weirdly?
It come off. It might have, but it's Activision who are publishing it.
Yeah, which is... It's amazing how bad Activision are thought of now, because everyone's like, fucking new Dark Souls-like game, fucking sign me up. It's published by Activision. Oh no. I'll probably get it.
It comes with an arbitrary Sekiro controller.
Yeah, oh, God. Yeah, that you have to use and put coins in.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll get onto that later, but
Yeah.
yeah, I've not done my deep dive in it yet because obviously I'm a big Souls fan, but could be interesting. Have you seen this VR Tetris effect?
The Tetris effect, yeah. I don't really see where it's coming from, really. I mean, how does that work? I mean,
I have no idea. I was hoping you knew because I ain't got a fucking clue. I don't think anyone knows.
Sort of like a trippy Tetris, really, in VR.
Yeah,
that's what it comes across.
I mean, with Tetris, the more stuff you put around it, the less fundamental the game is. I don't really get that, but well, fair enough. New game from Remedy, isn't there? Control.
What's that?
A sort of, again, it's just one of these gameplay, well, not even gameplay, I don't think, trailers. So a sort of eerie-looking broken reality game where like everything is kind of glitched out and weird, and everything's fallen to bits, and your gun like morphs between different guns and stuff.
Oh yes, that's right. Yes, I've seen that. Yes.
Yeah, that wasn't the greatest explanation.
Sort of like the psychic powers and things, and
so, yeah, quite possibly. Again, don't know anything. It looks like it might be cool, but but then so did Remember Me. So,
so is that what they've been working on in the past few years from after Alan Wake?
Looks like it, yeah. Yeah. As long as if you pirate the game on PC, your character wears an eye patch all the way through, then I'm sold, frankly. Then there was that game from the Life is Strange people, Twin Mirror.
Oh, Twin Mirror set in the same world.
I didn't realise that.
Well, the good thing about that is apparently it's going to be... No, am I talking about that one we play as a child?
Oh, the Captain Spirit or whatever.
Yes, because that's going to be free.
Yeah, free game for kids. Yeah, fucking fair enough. Fantastic.
That's nice, yeah.
Can't argue with it. But yeah, Twin Mirror looks more like a sort of... I mean, it's got the interactive fiction element again, but more sort of detective-y based. A friend described it as looks like something David Cage made, but without the bollocks. So, fair enough. But yeah, if it actually is like that, without all the sort of bullshit, that would be nuts. But,
yeah, it'd be quite interesting, yes.
Who knows? Very early days.
Ooh, indeed.
And don't forget the Resident Evil 2 remake, Larry.
Oh, yes, well, we look forward to that. That's going to be in the same pile as bloody Final Fantasy VII when that comes out, never. And
oh, God. Final Fantasy VII not mentioned at all, was it?
No, because they said it's going to be at least 2022 at the earliest it's going to come out now.
What?
Yes.
What? Shit, fuck, man. So it's another 4 years at the earliest?
Exactly, yeah. So it's looking like to be a PlayStation 5 game now, instead of a game that was supposed to come out for the launch of the PlayStation 3. So...
Man, that's impressively delayed. Crikey. Wow, that's thrown me for a loop. I did not know that. Well, so anyway, Resident Evil 2 remake. Camera's different. The faces look weird.
Oh yeah, he's got a weird face, and you get to see a first-person rat.
Nice. Sold. Here's my money. I'm shoving it into my DVD drive as we speak. Oh dear. Then old Elijah Wood came out, didn't he? And announced like a...
Hello, I'm going to work at games now.
Hang on. I've got that confused with something else. He wasn't at the Sony one, was he? He was on something else.
He was at an event. He just walked on stage and nobody wanted to stop him, really, because he might bite their ankles or something.
I've seen Maniac, he'll chop me up. I've seen the original, which was the same but slightly better. Oh no, this is me getting things confused, because this is actually the weird Ghost in a School simulator from Miyazaki, the Dark Souls guy.
Yeah.
Derasini or something.
Oh, yes.
And like the point of the game is you're a ghost in a kid's school, which sounds a bit creepy, but and you have to convince people you exist. And like this weird game mechanics, like you can take away time from something and give it to another object. So like if there's like a withered plant, you can take time away from some grapes, which withers them, and give it to the plant, and the plant rejuvenates.
Oh, so how does that convince you that there's ghosts? I mean, you must think, it might be a bit close to a banana or something.
I've got a fucking clue.
Seeing something rot slightly quicker is not going to make me...
Yeah, and make a plant come back to life and just think you're an E.T. I mean, all you'd have to do is pick up some chalk and write on the blackboard, "Hi guys, I'm a ghost," and you'd probably be halfway there, you know.
Well, watching you write it. I mean, otherwise, if somebody sees it, you just come into the
Oh,
room
yeah,
or something.
that would not be so impressive, really, would it?
Someone just being a twat. I mean.
God, yeah. Isn't it VR only? I can't remember. I think it's a VR game, yeah.
Well, Sony's VR presentation was a bit bloody crap because half the games they put in their showcase have been out for over a year.
Yes, there's a lot of bloody old stuff. There's only a couple of interesting new bits, really.
Well, the one I'm looking forward to, which they didn't show, is actually the sequel to the London Heist. Or it's the same world. Well, it's the same world as The Getaway. So.
Oh.
So
didn't even know that existed.
So yeah, that's what I'm looking forward to out of all of them. And there's that other gun game. There's a gun game coming out that looks quite good as well. But...
and Zone of the Enders, the second runner.
Yes.
I mean,
the game everybody bought for the demo of Metal Gear Solid 2.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, that's surprising, but it's interesting.
Demo of Metal Gear Solid 2 VR at all, or anything? Or...
Yes, that is exactly correct. Yeah. And that's why everyone's going to buy it. Yeah. Looks, well, Zone of the Endery, I suppose. But it's not one of those things that many people are kind of that interested in.
Giant robots with pointy legs.
Yay, pointy leg simulator.
Yes.
Finally. Well, I think that's it from Sony, isn't it?
I believe so. I think they had was it them who had a Devil May Cry video?
There was definitely a Devil May Cry video.
Yeah.
Definitely.
It looks like it's set in London, but all I could see, thing from the trailer is the steering wheels are on the wrong side of the car.
Oh,
that's what I got from it.
Brilliant. That's part of the Microsoft one, weirdly.
Oh, okay.
Which is surprising for a Devil May Cry.
How bizarre.
It's when they previously Sony exclusive.
Yeah, well, Devil May Cry feels like a PlayStation game to me in my head.
Yeah, it's probably because they used to be exclusive. I'm going to quickly look it up and see. No, it's out for Windows, PS4, and Xbox One. Yeah, and Microsoft had it at the.
Yeah, Microsoft just want to promote Sony stuff for once.
That's right.
I feel sorry for them for being twats and that, not letting anybody play Fortnite.
Go on, we'll show Devil May Cry 5.
Go on, yeah.
Oh, dearie me. It has Dante and Nero again, doesn't it?
He's got an old Dante, I think. I think it's his son who might play as the main character now or something. And Dante's a dad in it.
Oh, fair enough.
I might have got it wrong, and I'm sure everybody in the comments will be pointing me out that I don't know anything about games and I should go kill myself.
Yeah, well, they'll do that even if you're right, Larry. So.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah. The third character is called Nico. I didn't make a note of that for some reason.
Oh, okay. It's a Japanese word for cat.
Oh, yes, but spelled differently.
Oh, okay.
Well, I say spelled differently.
Was it Nico or something?
Yeah, Nico, as in the...
Nico, cousin.
Hello, Dante is my dad. Who is Nero? I don't know. I'm making a good spaghetti. And that's my Devil May Cry 5 was the greatest game ever. Italian stereotype chefs. Do. You heard it here for... No, I might have made that up. Anyway, that's us into the Microsoft one, I suppose. Yeah.
So not too bad. I quite like the Microsoft, what they announced. I'm sure they'll be having lots more games that be cancelled, like Scalebound and stuff.
Fucking hell, that was weird, wasn't it? I remember seeing the trailers now and thinking, right, this looks interesting, but the douchebag idiots who are flying the dragons, tone that down a bit, maybe change the dialogue. No, we'll just count the game entirely. Oh, okay.
It just seems weird that they can't. I mean, it looked pretty complete as well. I mean, they had playable demos of it there, didn't they?
That's the thing. You think there was something they could get out of it. Do you know what I mean? To just can the entire thing when it's that close to... Well, we don't know how close it was to release, but it couldn't have been that far, could it? Exactly. You know, as you say, quite hefty playable demos and stuff. Oh, well.
One game Microsoft forgot to show at the event is they're doing a remake of Metal Wolf Chaos.
Oh, I have actually made a note of that. But on the extras bit at the end.
Yeah, okay, so I just ruined it then. I do.
Yeah, oh no, I don't know how to end it now. No,
we need to discuss this beforehand, which we're going to... Fucking Larry keeps telling everything I've got written down.
Jesus, flipping the table. God almighty. That makes no difference, does it? It's because that's an old Xbox One exclusive, isn't it? From FromSoft, the Dark Souls
guys. Very exclusive, never even come out over here. So
I did not realise that.
Yes. It's come out in America and Japan, but not here. I think it might not even come out in Japan. It might be an American exclusive.
Bloody hell. Because you're like the American president who goes around a giant robot.
Yeah.
Smashing shit up. I did watch some gameplay footage of it, and they're calling it remastered, but it's remastered in the sense that Dark Souls was remastered. It's not remastered at all. It's just a competent port, basically.
Upscaled, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I don't know when a port became remastered, but there you are. But it's high resolution. Yeah, that's not remastering, guys.
Yeah, it's sort of like not as good as Definitive Edition.
Yeah. Bloody hell. And not as different as a remake. But it's a shame that remaster doesn't mean anything now. Do you know what I mean?
I know, it's just lost all meaning.
Yeah, with things like Shadow of the Colossus, fucking amazing remastering, wasn't it? But nope, not for this. But yeah, that's
they need to come up with some sort of pun now, really, don't they? Like Dead Island had Definitive Edition.
Oh, yes. We sell it to you again on a different platform edition.
Yes, because we can't be bothered to make games anymore. We know you're stupid enough to buy it again, so...
Buy this game for the third time. Hooray!
Yeah.
And we won't even make it any different. It'll just be in a higher resolution and maybe some new particle effects if you're lucky.
Yes, this shit works for the music industry, so we're for trying games as well.
At least the music industry actually remaster a track when they say they are. It does actually sound cleaner or whatever. Don't get me wrong, they'll occasionally ruin it, but... Yeah. So Black Desert Online coming to consoles.
What is that?
That is a MMORPG.
More bigger.
Yeah, from somewhere East Asian. I can't remember. Was it Korean? I can't remember. But it's known for having like an incredibly detailed character creator.
Ooh.
At one stage, you might still be able to do this on PC. You could just download the character creator and play with it because it was such a good marketing tool for it.
Oh wow.
But other than that, I don't know anything about it. It's an MMORPG in it, and I don't think anyone...
Well, you know what's going to happen. Everybody just makes characters that look like Hitler. Oh.
So, yeah, Hitler or Wolverine.
Hitler, basically. Wolverine, or Michael Jackson back in the day. Actually, back in the day, everyone was trying to make one that looks like Brian Peppers as well.
Yes. So those are the 4 factions that are going to be in Black Desert Online on Xbox One X.
Yeah.
Michael Jackson versus Hitler versus Brian Peppers. Oh my god, can you imagine it?
Head like a pumpkin, he will bum you, Brian Peppers.
Poor old Brian Peppers. He must have died by now.
He died a couple of years ago, about 5 years ago, yeah.
Oh. Poor fella. He got a bad rap for having basically just being disabled and having a weird face. What a world. But anyway, that's depressing. And speaking of depressing things, they also announced We Happy Few.
Ooh, a game that's I've already bought 5 years ago and thought it was shit and never played anymore.
I was then going to say, like, I've played this game years ago, and I didn't like it either. It just didn't click with me.
Well, everybody bought it on the pretense that they thought it was going to be like Bioshock, because it looked very much in the style and stuff.
Yeah.
And the way they presented the game, it looked like it was going to be another Bioshock, sort of a dystopian past. Not dystopian, what is the word? Yeah, dystopian past, isn't it, or something?
Yeah, alternate history or whatever.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, it's a very interesting setup with everyone with these sort of weird painted grinning faces or masks or whatever. And, you know, they're all on these drugs to make them happy, and, you know, you get off the drugs and have to try and fool them into thinking you're still on them and stuff. But it just wasn't any fun when I played it. No,
it was a survival game that you just couldn't find anything and you just died.
Yeah, empty survival game is actually how I would have described it. I mean, maybe it's been massively improved in the 48 years since I played it, but it just seemed very odd that they would announce that now, because that is complete on PC, isn't it?
Well, I think that all full versions are sort of around the same level. It came out on the PS4 recently as well.
Just looked at the release date. It's given in as 10th of August this year.
How bizarre.
Blimey. So, because it started off, it was a Kickstarter, wasn't it?
It was, yes. And then it got so popular, it got sort of picked up by publishers and stuff. And...
I think Microsoft actually bought the developers, didn't they?
Did they?
Yeah.
They got it on they put it up on really early on their Xbox store, didn't they? So.
Yes, it was a really good campaign, if I remember, because, you know, not only did they show you a lot of stuff, but there was obvious gameplay footage and playable shit, you know, as opposed to, we're going to make a game. It was like, we are making a game, you know.
Yeah.
Hence
I just remember all the press releases trying to convince people that it isn't Bioshock, and then everybody getting really upset that it wasn't Bioshock.
Yeah, but yeah, it didn't do anything for me. It was very pretty. I like the design, and the voice acting was really good and all that. But
just the concept, their concept was amazing. It's just
didn't see much game to it.
Yeah, and you just couldn't go anywhere. You couldn't go over here and there. It's all shut off and that till you find something. You're never going to find the key and stuff to get there, and that just pissed me off. So I just gave up.
A frustrator-thon.
Yeah, it's one of those games that you don't know what you're doing. It's like harking back to the old Spectrum days when you bought a game. You just wandered around aimlessly until you died.
And years later, you look it up and discover that actually was all there was to the game.
Yes. Like, so sort of intrinsic sort of what you have to do that only the programmer himself knows the plan.
Yeah, and they don't seem to have realised it very well. Yes. Oh dear. There's Cuphead DLC.
Yes.
Which is
Cuphead Dlc.
Delicious last course. That's what they're calling it. Yeah. Did you ever play Cuphead?
I didn't know because everybody was moaning how difficult it was, and it just put me off. To be honest,
kind of did for me actually. I play enough Dark Souls and stuff to not have to play games that are really difficult. You know, it looks fucking beautiful. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah, it looks amazing. Yeah,
old cartoon aesthetic was done so perfectly; it was unbelievable. But it's kind of a boss rush game, isn't it?
But essentially, yes. It's basically what's that? Alien? Is it Alien Soldier on the Mega Drive?
Yes. Oh man, that's a blast from the past.
It's basically that.
But pretty as fuck. But yeah, a lot of people like it. But it's one of those things I'll play it at some point. But I think it's probably a bit too old schooly, super difficult platformer for me. Then possibly the big one of the whole bloody E3. CD Projekt's next game, Cyberpunk 2077.
Yes, which is basically The Witcher is in Blade Runner.
Yeah, the Blade Runner Witcher, absolutely.
Yeah.
In fact, even one of the characters from The Witcher travels there, don't they? And then tell you when they come back. I don't know if you saw that. But,
no?
Yeah, there's a really good YouTube video. Somebody has taken all the dialogue from where you talk to this character who's been to another world, and they've overlaid it over the trailer for Cyberpunk 2077, and it's quite obvious that's where she went, you know, which is a nice little tie-in. But it looks cool as fuck, basically. Yeah,
I like the look of it because the proper Cyberpunk has been quite thin off the ground, hasn't it?
Really has, yeah. I'd like some more Shadowrun games.
Yes,
I love the turn-based ones that Harebrained Schemes did.
I like the one that everybody hated, the third-person sort of.
Oh yeah. One where you could like plant trees and stuff.
Yes. I actually got voice banned off that game because I refused to plant a tree for someone.
That'll teach you.
And the best thing was he threatened to come round my house and plant a tree in my front garden.
What?
He threatened, yeah.
How is that a threat?
I don't know. I'm going to come round your house and slightly improve the property value.
That'll teach you.
Yeah.
Won't do that again in a hurry.
Yeah.
Bloody hell. But yeah, no, it just really looks cool as fuck, doesn't it? The whole aesthetic and everything. And we know everybody loved The Witcher 3, so they've got some good pedigree there. My only vague complaint is it's first person. Just because I'm so sick of first person games, but that's just me, really.
Well, hopefully they might be able to switch it in and out, because you could do in The Witcher, couldn't you? Play in first person in The Witcher, couldn't you?
Do you know? I don't know. I always
probably
think The
wrong.
Witcher as being third person. You could well be right. Then, Dying Light 2. Yes,
that's quite good, isn't it? I mean, the game that they were supposed to make a sequel to, Dead Island 2. That's been in sort of development hell for years, and the company who ran off to make another game has made 2 now.
I don't know anything about Dying Light. I don't know. I know it's got zombies in, and that's it.
I really enjoyed the first one. It was quite a good game. But yeah, it's basically if you play Dead Island. You play Dead Island?
No, I know of it.
Oh, okay.
But I've never played it.
Basically, it's sort of like a parkour first-person game where you have to go around hunting for stuff and that, and sort of just twatting zombies with cricket bats and stuff.
So a sort of survival gamey thing going on.
Yeah, it's a survival game, you know, and they get more dangerous at night, that sort of thing. And you get like
just like the Swiss.
Yes. And there's like a sort of Left 4 Dead type super zombies as well you have to avoid. And the original was quite good because you actually randomly join other people's games as this super zombie and try and ruin their day.
Ah, a little bit of Dark Souls invasion style stuff.
Yes, but you could really ruin their day. I mean, basically, if they saw you, had no chance, unless they shined a torch at you. Because apparently, zombies are allergic to torch. Torches.
I imagine it's the light as opposed to the torch.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Who can say? Zombies are allergic to anything run from batteries.
Yes. Fuck me, he's got an ever ready.
Oh, it's a D cell. That's interesting. And oh god, Forza Horizon 4. We're up to 4 already.
I know. I was looking forward to. I thought all of us for a moment. And I thought, oh look, is it going to be a new Project Gotham game?
No. Oh man, Project Gotham.
But yeah, this Forza Horizon is just Project Gotham, really, isn't it?
Yeah, I think there's not a terrific amount of difference there, is it? And it's set in the UK, I hear.
Yeah, that is nice.
I wonder if you'll be able to drive to your nan's house in it.
I shouldn't think so. She's dead, but
so more mine. Oh well.
Oh.
Yes. Can we drive to the cemetery? It's not quite the same, is it? Oh dear. Yeah.
Flower DLC. So.
Yeah. Oh god. Oh, press X to pay respect. Yeah.
They announced a new Battletoads.
Shit, did they? How did I miss that?
Oh.
What? Well, like a modern 3D Battletoads?
I don't know. They didn't show anything. They showed a bit of a drawing, and that's about it. Battletoads is back. That sort of thing. Coming soon. So I don't even know if it's going to be one of those sort of 2D animation things, or it's actually going to be a proper 3D thing.
Oh.
Or it's going to be like a download-only thing, you know, budget.
Oh, yes. So literally nothing known whatsoever.
No. I mean, hopefully they don't arse it up like Sony did with Shadow of the Beast.
Oh, my God. And there's that Golden Axe Beast Rider game as well, wasn't there?
Oh, that was terrible.
Yeah.
But no, but it was so... I mean, everybody was looking forward to Shadow of the Beast, though. I mean...
Ended up being kind of just like Beast Rider, really, didn't it?
Yeah.
Essentially the same fucking game, if you look at it.
It's just weird how they try and bring back old licenses and completely ruin them. And I was like, oh no, and the sole reason is, nobody likes the IP anymore. Nobody's interested in the IP, so they blame it on that rather than they're making a game that some pretentious twat thought, I'll make the game in my own vision now.
Yeah.
And it's just the only... Basically, they're using a name just to get their bloody magnum opus off the ground, and it's all crap. Nobody wants it.
That's the thing, isn't it? If you're going to do something like that, it has to be an original idea, surely. You can't just attach it to another license and then wonder why people who like that license are annoyed, Oh, dear. And speaking of never-ending licenses, Gears of War 5.
Yeah, Gears... Well, they got rid of the of War now. It's just called Gears 5.
Oh, really?
Yes. Well, they've done that on purpose because it takes you less time to read the title, so you can put more gameplay in.
That makes perfect sense.
Yes.
Fucking, this is going to sound crazy. I didn't know there was a Gears of War 4. I genuinely didn't.
Whereas,
I could not get on with the first one at all. I found it crushingly boring.
Hide and seek and shoot. What did you do? You called it like hide and seek and shooty thing, didn't you? Something you talked about it years and years ago or something.
Yeah, I can't remember now. There was something like that. Hiding behind. What was it? God, video gaming's premiere hiding behind a waste level wall simulator.
Yeah. That was for your terrible old games videos, I think it was, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think it was. Bloody hell.
Yeah.
Just couldn't go. I was playing it in co-op with a friend, which is like the most fun way to play anything, and we were both so fucking bored by it. God.
Well, it just keeps going and going and going. It doesn't let up on that. I mean, they try to break up a thing where, we put a vehicle section is, but all it is a bloody on-rail shooting section, which is even worse because you always die in those bloody 6 segments because you can't hide. So you have to keep doing the same thing over and over again, and just hopefully you get lucky.
I feel like you're playing a Virtua Cop rip-off from 1998 or something, yeah.
Oh, exactly.
Ugh. I mean, they need something drastically different. I think this one has
a
female protagonist, but like that makes no difference at all, really, does it? It's a first-person game.
Well, it's third person. You get to see her back.
Oh, yes, well, they get to watch her bum running. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
yes,
you get to see her bum running, which is the roadie rushing.
And that doesn't really alter anything, does it? Bloody hell. They need some... Well, I was going to say they need to seriously change things up a bit, which then leads us into them changing things up a bit too much with Gears Pop.
What's this?
Oh, did you? Oh, man,
yes.
Did you not come across?
Oh, I saw that.
Yeah.
I just thought it's just them to spam some pop vine.
No. There's actually going to be a game, a Gears of War game, where the characters are in the style of Funko Pops.
Why would anybody want that?
Nobody does. Even people who like Funko Pops don't.
Yeah.
I mean, it's absolutely mental. I don't think much is actually known about it.
I'm surprised there hasn't been a Funko Pop game before, but that's what you get for basing your career on other people's properties, really, isn't it? You ain't got anything to create your own.
There was a little animated trailer, and it looks exactly as you would expect it to look.
Well, they also announced a new gameplay mode for Gears 5.
Oh, go on. Is it Battle Royale?
It is.
Oh, fucking hell. If anything doesn't lend itself to Battle Royale. Oh.
I know. Well, you can only have like 10 people in the game at one time as well, so how does that even work?
That's not even a bloody... I was going to say... I was trying to convert Royale into Big Mac and say it's not even a Battle Big Mac, but that just doesn't make sense.
Royale, yeah.
Yes. But how is that Royale? Just 10 people, for God's sake.
Nice,
God. And the only one that potentially interested me is a tactics game, Gears Tactics.
Oh, so basically, it's instead of making a third Halo, what's it called? That tactics game.
Oh, Halo Wars.
Halo Wars, yeah. So they're going to do a Gears Wars.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why they can't call it Gears Wars, can't they? So...
Oh, God. So, yeah, that might be interesting. Don't know, really. I do like a good turn-based strategy, but I've got no idea what way they're going to take it. So, yeah. Oh, and now finally, something I've been looking forward to for so long, Crackdown 3.
Yes.
Which now looks like Crackdown meets Tron.
Yes.
And Terry Crews. Terry Crews all over it.
They're just trying to go for a bloody meme thing, aren't they? I mean,
this is the worry. Do they push it too far? Because it is a perfect thing. I mean... Basically, Crackdown 1, it was basically like Terry Crews before Terry Crews existed, so to speak.
Yeah.
But,
I mean, if it's made in the 80s, they'd have Mr. T or something, wouldn't they?
Exactly, yeah. But, yeah, as long as they don't push it too far, that could work really well. But as you say, if it gets cringy and memey, then... But you never know from a trailer, because they always push everything too far in a trailer, because that's how trailers work. But, yeah, got that sort of Tron vibe.
It's not bad for a game everybody was saying it's been cancelled on YouTube and that, all these... news channels. Has it been cancelled?
So and so has been cancelled. I've got no proof at all. I just haven't heard about it for 12 minutes. You know, yeah, it looks cool, and fucking love the first Crackdown. And Crackdown 2 is the biggest disappointment ever. Crackdown 2 is more like Crackdown 0.8.
That pissed me off so much. I thought that should have been released as DLC. That was such a con. That was.
It really was. It was a cut down version of the first game, and the first game is pretty bare bones.
Yeah, but all you had to do is sort of blow up the hives of these zombies, and I thought that was the first part of the game to do. When I'd done that, you completed the game.
Yeah.
Really?
It's like, this is a bit repetitive and dull. It's not as fun as the first. What do you mean it's finished? You know, it was one of the biggest disappointments ever, Crackdown 2. It really was. But hopefully 3 will at the very least be a whole lot of fucking fun, because that's what it's all about, isn't it?
And they announced Halo Infinite.
Yeah, well, any details?
No, maybe it's going to be like Bioshock Infinite. He goes back in time and sort of undoes the shitty Halo 5.
That would be cool. Maybe it's literally infinite. It's just procedurally generated. It's just one massive level.
Well, that's what Halo is, isn't it? You just all of a sudden he's made Blood Gulch again. Yeah. Just an infinite number of Blood Gulches. So,
each slightly different to the last. Yeah.
Different levels of grass. So.
Oh, God. Yeah, so there's not much known on that, is there? I mean, it'll have Master Chief in it, presumably.
Yeah, and Battle Royale.
Yes, absolutely, there'll be a fun.
It feels like a bloody Battle Royale already. I mean, they used to have massive maps and that.
That's true, but perhaps we're being a little harsh on them for jumping onto Battle Royale, because they have got some form in the genre. But oh, speaking of crazy fun like Crackdown 3, Just Cause 4.
Yes, the game that nobody thought was going to come.
Yeah, and here it is.
I know it's just come along. It was all right, really. I was happy with 3 and.
Yeah, I don't know what it's adding to it or whatever's.
I only really played the other. I only bought the first one because it was a bit like Mercenaries, and I love Mercenaries.
Oh man, that was a game, wasn't it? Indestructible almost. Yeah.
The second one was a bit crap. We literally killed the series, but the first one was brilliant.
Oh yes, there was Mercenaries 2 for the 360, wasn't it?
Yes, and I done that bloody tried to go for the Portal thing with a Mimi song. Yeah. You know, oh no, you didn't.
Oh god.
And then
Oh,
So yeah, because that was a
sign
thing
that to the dustbin of history.
Yes.
Bloody hell. But yeah, just cause it looks a lot like 3.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking as well, because it looks exactly the same as 3. So is it just expansion? But it's made by Avalanche, and they're too busy working on. They're also working on Rage 2.
Yes, that's interesting that that's come out, because the first one was not a success, was it really?
I liked it. It was
quite a good game, but not that many people bloody bought it, did they?
Absolutely beautiful looking game.
They had at the time a mobile phone game, which looked astonishing for mobile phone games at the time as well. Yeah, the graphics were just sort of right up there, weren't they? It's good as getting another crack at it, actually.
It is.
It's one of those underrated games, I think. Rage.
Exactly. I also there's a sort of speculation that people might think it's actually a cancelled Mad Max 2 because Avalanche also made it that.
Oh yes, that's an interesting thought.
So yeah, we got this game's half finished. It got cancelled and that. It didn't get approved for the pitch and that. So we thought, yeah, do you want it? You know, you're not doing anything with Rage, are you? So maybe that's how it came about.
That is a distinct possibility.
Yes, but that's just a theory.
A game theory.
Yes.
I assume that music always plays after everything that Matt Pat says.
Yes. Actually, no, he just says that every time he closes a sentence, he says that.
And he really likes Undertale. He gave the Pope a copy, didn't he? Which still astonishes me to this day.
That's right. He got pissed off at me once because I said, that's funny because I gave a copy of Five Nights at Freddy's to the Dalai Lama.
Oh, how am I going to get angry at that? That's like such a standard response joke.
I was starting to piss me. Such a stupid thing again. What am I going to do? What, I got a Steam code. What am I going to do with that? I know, I put it on G2A, see how much somebody wants for it.
Oh, God. Oh, shit, did you see Jump Force?
I did not, no.
So I think it's Shonen Jump. It's like an anime crossover.
Yes. So basically it's Smash Brothers.
That's the format they're going. Smash Brothers with anime characters.
Yeah, it's the Dark Souls of Smash Brothers.
So it's Naruto versus Bleach or whatever.
Yes. Well,
if you like your anime, that might be good. I just spent my whole time not knowing who any of the characters are. So
yeah, well, you know a couple. Oh, I think I'll see him in that picture, that anime thing, and that, and they got like Death Note as well. They really, except nobody fights in Death Note. It's about writing people's names down in a book and killing them. So that's not going to be much of a fighting game, is it?
You have to use the touch screen to just write somebody's name down.
It's going to be the DS version. You've got to write your enemy's name down quick enough before he punches you. So.
Finally, something to use the Wii U pad for. Oh, wait, the Wii U's dead. What else was coming along? Metro Exodus.
That does look really nice.
Basically, so it's based on the Metro 2035 book or whatever. I can't remember the number, 2033. But it's obviously previously we had the Stalker games, but this looks much more sort of action FPS than Stalker.
So yeah, no, it did look really, really nice. That did.
I mean, I've got no particular time for FPS, but it looks like a good one.
So what do you do with your sort of spare time? What do you actually play when you've got like a couple of minutes spare?
Good God, as if I have any spare time. What I do is I usually just fret about starting a game because they all take too long.
It takes too long, bloody load now. I can't play it anymore.
Well, yes, exactly. But I do still enjoy a bit of PUBG because you can just get into it, play a few games and escape, sort of thing.
Yeah, just play 5 minutes and get sniped by somebody come up behind you.
Yeah, exactly. Yes, that is dangerously true.
Or the game crashes.
Yeah. Oh, yes. That is also extremely true, Jim.
Speaking of which, Microsoft announced all their new stuff for PUBG for the Air version.
Oh yeah, because that Xbox version's like only recently had Miramar or something.
Miramar, yes, it's actually quite good, the Miramar version on that one as well.
Does it differ from the PC one?
Well, you don't sort of crash over a bit of sand anymore. You don't flip over and die instantly.
Well, that's what I enjoy about it, so I'm not interested in that. If I can't be going along on a bike, hit an invisible rock, shoot 50,000 feet in the air and explode, then it's just not PUBG.
Oh, that's not fair. But they announced the third map for the summer of this year.
Sandhawk. Yeah.
Sandhawk, and they announced the fourth map for winter.
Ooh, which will be the snow map, presumably.
Snow map, yes. Because there ain't really much place else to go, really, have they? You've got jungle, desert, green. I mean, if they're doing a fifth one, it will have to be urban.
And then in space.
In space.
And then under the water.
And in time.
Yes, and then a slippy, slidey ice world. Oh, no, wait, that's probably the one coming this year. Through time.
In a sewer. Yeah. The sewer level.
Oh, God. 90s platformers. Bloody hell. There's Nier Automata's coming to Xbox One, isn't it? With their Game of the Year edition. They've got a weird name for
why? Well, it's just a DLC. That's what it's coming with.
Becomers Gods edition. That's it. It's sort of a surprise hit, that one, wasn't it?
Yes. I bought it a couple of months ago and I finished it, and it's one of those games you can complete several times over to actually get the full story.
Oh.
And it's all right. I mean, you haven't played it, have you?
I haven't as yet. No, I haven't even got a copy as yet.
Oh, okay. It seems a bit weird because after, like, they're saying how brilliant the game is, but like you walk around the map and it looks like a PS2 game.
Oh.
It's just boxes with holes in them that you can walk in. That's what it is. It does literally looks like a PS2 game. So it's a good game. Very sort of typical anime bloody story, but you know, love will always find a way.
Oh.
Yes.
Now let us jump 50 feet in the air and slash swords unrealistically.
Yeah, just real. Oh. So yeah, no, it's just there. Just that's all right. Then.
It's a game that exists.
Yes,
it's all right. It's all right. I'm desperately trying to remember the name of the next one because I haven't written it down properly. A really pretty-looking puzzle platformer. Looks a bit Metroidvania.
Ooh.
Ori and the Will of the Wisps.
Oh.
It's just one of those. Evil Edna has kidnapped the princess.
I bet you could do a really good Evil Edna impression.
I can't remember how Evil Edna talks.
That's yeah.
I know. I'd have to hear it again. It was all Kenneth Williams back in the day.
Yeah, Kenneth Williams DLC, wasn't it?
Yeah. That would be the best thing ever. Kenneth Williams and the Will of the Wisps. Matron, take them away. For every enemy you come up against.
Ori and the innuendos.
Oh, dear. But
he got replaced by. They done a reboot, didn't they, of Will o' the Wisp?
They did with James' surname. I can never remember.
Yeah, the bloke from Gimme Gimme Gimme.
Yeah, and latter day My Hero.
Yes.
James Dreyfus.
James, that's it.
Yeah, I don't know if it's any good or not. I've never seen it.
They turned Evil Edna into a plasma television.
Makes sense.
Because they were worried that children wouldn't know what she was supposed to be.
Yeah, you could have just said she was a television. But then they'd know that she was a television. See, that's with my amazing script writing prowess there. If you need somebody to know something, have it in the film. As opposed to weirdly changing it.
They tried to do quite a few of those reboots of obscure 80s British animations, really, didn't they? They try to bring back Dr. Snuggles.
No!
Yes, and
Dr.
he was
Snuggles, friend of the animal world.
Who do you think they would bring him back to voice him in a reboot? Because obviously Peter Ovsnoff is dead.
Yeah, so we've got no use to
It's bloody obvious. It's going to be bloody obvious when I tell you.
Brian Blessed.
No, he's like a friendly man, not a sweary big man. Hello, I'm Dr. Snuggle.
You bastard! Stop being ill right now.
Well, his best friend would be a badger in the game, so he would like that.
So, yeah, there we are.
Go away, you badger. No, he was going to be voiced by Jim Broadbent.
Oh, perfect. Yeah, absolutely perfect.
He looks like him as well, doesn't he? I mean, he can even do like that.
Bloody hell, but it didn't come about, you say?
No, well, there's videos of on YouTube, Dr. Snuggles Returns. And
because they redid Danger Mouse with Alexander Armstrong, didn't they?
Mm. Because everybody knows David, what's his name's dead.
Yes. Then there was Stop It and Tidy Up, the post-apocalyptic years. They've really got their work cut out for them, trying to clean away buildings and corpses constantly.
There's brand new characters like Check Your Privilege.
And stop. Just stop.
Stop. Yeah.
And that's the reaction to anybody reading any news. You just, I wonder what's happening today. Just comes to stop. Just stop. Never read the comments. He's my favourite new character.
Dave's dad made that as well.
He did. Yes, old Terry Brain. Yeah, after Don't You Open That Trap Door. Because you're a fool.
Something down there.
Is there something down there? What?
Mostly plasticine, but
yes. To be fair, it's mostly plasticine above the trapdoor, but it was all the intention of the plasticine characters.
Hello.
Yeah.
Bird.
So anyway, Ori and the Wisps. Yeah, I don't know. It's one of these pretty platforms. Looks like sort of Limbo and all that kind of stuff, but just prettier at the moment.
I never played the first one, but Ori and Blind Forest is one of Dan Ibbetson's favourite games of all time.
Oh, I hadn't gotten the bloody connection. It's obvious. It's fucking Ori and, isn't it? Yeah.
Yes.
I've never played the Blind Forest, no.
Neither have I. I've actually got a special edition on PC. It comes in a tin.
Oh, nice. You can keep your sandwiches in there afterwards.
Yeah. I've got to put my paninis in there.
Both the sandwiches and the sticker collection.
Yeah. Come. Yeah, might have to take the art book out because it might get a bit greasy. But
Sea of Thieves, they had an announcement. There's loads of expansions and fixes, and maybe they'll put a fucking game in it now. I don't know. Yeah.
That is such a waste.
Yeah, it really is now. I doubt they'll add enough to make it worthwhile, but who knows?
I honestly thought it was going to be like a single-player game that you could actually sort of do a sort of. Basically, they're going to rip off Wind Waker or something. That's what I thought it was going to be when I saw it first announced.
Yeah, I can understand that.
And that's what they should have done. Just rip off Wind Waker, find a couple of dungeons to walk around in and stuff like that. Put a couple of new dungeons in every now and then for people to find. And how about randomly generated dungeons rather than just an island with a couple of skeletons on it, because that's boring.
Yeah.
Or repetitive.
What a waste, an utter waste of an idea. Well, there we are. Maybe the expansion.
But then again, Ubisoft thought it was good enough to rip off with Skull and Bones. So there you go.
God, yes. Oh man, we'll get onto that with Ubisoft. But yeah, fucking hell. And finally, from Microsoft, there's Sekiro, Shadows Die Twice. What the Dark Souls people are doing next, basically.
Yes.
Looks more actiony than Dark Souls, but it seems to have dropped the RPG elements. It's got a very Tenchu style sort of grappling hook thing going on, which is interesting because From Software now own the rights to Tenchu. So they totally could have called this Tenchu because it's all sort of feudal Japan stuff. But I'm going to properly look into this because I do love me some Soulsborne, but I don't know. I'm not that interested in the setting.
It's been done so many times now. That's the problem.
Exactly, mate. Exactly. The bosses they showed look cool, so that's good. But the whole thing with the grappling hook makes the world a bit more open. And the thing about Dark Souls is it's the very fucking precise level design, which is its strength. And, an open world Dark Souls wouldn't be anything.
And you've got more chance of getting lost as well, those sort of things.
Absolutely, and just nothing being of interest. And, the Dark Souls 1 map is fucking genius, and the way it twirls around itself and the shortcuts and the verticality of it. And, but there we are. I mean, maybe it's going to be like that. And maybe you'll just have a grappling hook which you can use for a little bit of stuff. Who knows? But
well, they've done all right with Bloodborne, so they can.
They did. My favourite fucking game ever, Bloodborne.
Really? What, you liked it better than Dark Souls?
I did, yes. Me personally, yeah. I fucking love Bloodborne. Because a lot of people are saying, "Oh, I hope it's going to be a Bloodborne 2." I don't know, man. I think that has shot its bolts. I think anything continuing on from that would be diminishing returns. Let's have a Dark Souls sort of game in another setting, which they have done. So, fingers crossed, man. Fingers crossed.
Oh, it's a shame that you don't really like the idea of the set. Yeah, like I said, it's just been done so many times.
And Neo, I mean, the Dark Souls-like game,
Yeah.
it's exactly kind of that, you know. But there we are. If the game's good, it won't really matter where it's set, I suppose. But anyway, good old Nintendo didn't show a whole lot of stuff this time, did they?
They forgot to turn up this year, apparently.
Shit! C3 a day, guys! Quick!
Yeah, we ain't got anything!
The night before. It's just like, oh, God.
Yeah. Oh, no, let's re-release the game for the Wii U and put more of the old characters in the game. That worked last time.
You mean Super Smash Brothers Ultimate?
Yeah, Super Definitive Edition Ultra.
Yeah. Still no Waluigi, so that can get in the fucking sea.
Yeah, that's what everybody was getting upset about, wasn't it?
I know. I was like, who really cares, bloody Waluigi?
Sony fanboys upset about a lesbian kiss in The Last of Us 2, and Nintendo fanboys are getting upset that bloody Dick Dastardly's not in the game.
Well, glad to see everyone still getting upset about really important things. Everything's being crippled by loot boxes. No, I'm upset because Waluigi isn't. Oh, God. Yeah, so that's a thing. There's another Fire Emblem game, wasn't there?
Yeah.
I could never get on with Fire Emblem. I fucking love turn-based strategy, but I never enjoyed Fire Emblem.
Did you like sort of DS Wars and stuff?
Yes. Yes, did Advance Wars. Fucking love
Advance Wars, yeah. That's
yeah. But yeah, Fire Emblem just never clicked for me. I don't know why. Oh, God, there's another Super Mario Party.
Yes, they decided not to number them anymore now because they're on 11 or 12. Or
Jesus! God. Do they still do that thing where it doesn't really matter how you do in the game and basically the winner is picked at random at the end?
Yeah. I've never played them. I've never played any of them, but just because I haven't really got that many people to play around on that. I mean, if Nintendo's adverse to playing games online and that, it sort of ruined the concept, really. So it's just a pain in the ass getting enough people around and that.
Yeah, I understand that, yeah. And they didn't show anything to do with Metroid Prime 4, did they, at all?
Yes, people are upset about that. And also, no showing of the Nintendo 64 Mini.
Yeah, I reckon that's one of those things they'll announce very shortly before they release.
Yes. I think they might shake things up and release a Game Boy Mini this year.
Ooh. I hope not, because there's loads of third-party options for that, which are perfectly good.
Exactly, but this is Nintendo, isn't it? So everyone will buy it anyway, even if it's like 3 times the price of the knockoff ones.
And literally doesn't work. It's just a bar of soap with a cock drawn on it. But it will be sold out. You'll be buying it in CEX for £500 2 days after release.
Bloody scalpers.
I'm hoping there is a Nintendo 64 Mini. There's got to be, surely, because that is the one that is such a bastard to use on modern televisions and stuff.
And then we can look forward to YouTube videos recreating that Nintendo 64 kid video where he's unwrapping.
Oh my God, that's going to happen, isn't it?
Because that's the height of comedic genius, is making a reference to something and thinking it's a joke, confusing a reference with a joke.
Oh God, it's all about timing, and you know the timing will be bad. It'll just be at the start of the video.
Yes.
Oh God. Oh dear.
Well, the problem with the Nintendo 64 Mini is most of the best games out for it were made by Rare.
Yeah, that's absolutely true. You can play most of them on that Rare collection for the Xbox One X. Yeah. I mean, Xbox One. God almighty. They've got so many fucking different console names, I'm confused by what's what now.
Yeah.
Because the S is distinctly different to the normal one and the X as well, isn't it? I mean,
well, the S is more powerful than the original.
Yes, but not as powerful as the X.
No.
Oh, fucking hell, guys. Ugh. But, yeah, that's it from Nintendo as well, isn't it?
Literally. I was so upset. Half their presentation was showing off new characters and moves in Smash Brothers. I don't give a shit about Smash Brothers.
I don't know either. I've never properly played it.
It's really simple. Get a button for anything. It's just we bring about 8 player. All right. Is that going to be laggy as shit like last time?
I bet it's super fucking fun if you got a room full of people, but I've just never been in the situation to actually play the bloody thing, you know.
Yeah.
Oh dear. So on to Ubisoft, I suppose.
Ubisoft, yes.
We already mentioned Skull and Bones, which is basically...
Well, they ripped off the Assassin's Creed thing, didn't they?
Yeah, the Assassin's Creed pirate bits have been spread out into their own game, basically.
And they had quite a bit of that in Assassin's Creed
Black
Origins.
Flag, yeah. Oh, and Origins had it as well, I didn't realise
quite a bit of it, yes.
Ooh. So there is a new Assassin's Creed as well, isn't it? Odyssey.
Odyssey, yes.
Sort of ancient Greek one, sort of a semi-reboot, adding RPG elements.
Yes. Apparently it's a prequel to Origins, which doesn't make sense. It's called bloody Origins. Was there one before?
You can't have nothing is as bad as the modern Planet of the Apes films, where Rise of the Planet of the Apes comes before Dawn of the Planet of the Apes, so their naming convention makes no sense. But still, fucking hell.
Beginning of the Planet of the Apes. You just go through a thesaurus and try the things at the beginning and that.
Yeah. But I mean, if anything needs a bit of a reboot and
intro of the Planet of the Apes.
We've just thought of the Planet of the Apes.
Yeah, the first one of the Planet of the Apes.
But if anything needs mixing up a bit, it is kind of Assassin's Creed now, isn't it? Because it's
I like the idea.
Very samey.
I like the idea of Greek because everybody thought, oh, it's going to be bloody Roman or something. Because they had quite a bit of. Well, you kill bloody Caesar at the end of Oranges, so.
Yes, that's a bit of a deal. Yeah, I think I like the idea of them mixing it up. I like the idea of where it's set. I like the idea of adding some RPG elements and stuff to mix it up more. Fingers crossed, really. So it's incredible how many Assassin's Creed games there've been. They
seem to be playing down all the future stuff though now. Like,
because nobody was interested in that, were they?
Yeah, well, it's a good idea.
Film around it.
Yeah, that was terrible, wasn't it?
It's down as literally one of the worst experiences watching a film at the cinema ever. It's so fucking dumb and boring, and I know a story about no, actually I can't tell it. Fuck.
Oh,
that's annoying.
Is it incriminating? Is it?
Yeah, vaguely, but not incriminating for me, but incriminating for the people who tell me it. But suffice to say, Mr. Fassbender was not best amused when he first saw it.
Well, I can't blame him, poor
But exactly, yeah. The phrase "angry tears" was used.
I played fucking Magneto.
Yeah. Although it's still a much better film than The Snowman, which is just so incomplete it's unbelievable. So, yeah. Anyway, off films and onto Assassin's Creed. Honestly, yeah. Fingers crossed for that one, really. But, yeah, they need to do something. There's just so many bloody Assassin's Creed games now. It's insane.
Well, where else can they go? Well, they said originally that they're never going to go to Egypt. The two places they never ever go in Assassin's Creed are Egypt and feudal Japan.
Oh.
And they ain't really got much else to go, have they, really? I mean,
Hounslow,
Falklands War. Yeah.
Yep, set in 1984. There we are.
Yeah.
We had a thing, right, for the... I've mentioned this to Larry before, but we have a thing for the Norwich Game...
I am Larry.
Quiz. Yeah. Yes.
Oh, okay. Oh, sorry.
That was for the audience.
Oh, it was for the audience. Jesus.
That was for the audience.
When you do that, you keep referring to me as a third person in conversation.
Why still exist? No, I mentioned this before to you. Where the Norwich Game Festival pub quiz, we had a potential round where it was going to be like a tiebreaker, and you just had to name all the main series Assassin's Creed games in order. And like everybody you say it to, that's easy. Nobody could do it. Like, literally, I tested so many people and nobody could, because people have just totally forgotten. Well, fuck, Rogue was a thing, wasn't it? Jesus, Revelations. Oh yeah, that came after Brotherhood. Just there's so many that nobody could actually suss it. Except I think my friend Matthew probably could, because he's a massive fan of Assassin's Creed, so he could probably do that quite easily. And I'm glad we didn't, because he went to the quiz and would have knocked everybody out of the park with that bit.
So there's 3 Assassin's Creed 2 games, really. The XCO things.
Absolutely. And that's before you start getting into handheld versions and mobile games and spin-offs and... Oh, my goodness. But yeah, fingers crossed for that one. Oh, and there's DLC for Honor.
That come out of bloody nowhere. I thought they abandoned that because nobody plays the bloody thing.
Yeah, they've added some like Chinese warriors, marching fire, I think it's called. That is odd, because it's one of those games I played briefly and one of the characters was far more powerful than the rest, so everybody was just playing that character online. It's one of those games that you have to be it's such a hardcore audience now that you can't get to play it anymore because people will just rip you apart in seconds. Yeah. As well, so that's why sort of put off a lot of people. Online games tend to go like that after a while, especially the sort of PC-based ones. But For Honor seemed to get there very quickly, didn't it?
Just people now to cheese it. That's why. So.
Yeah. It's one of those games. It looks cool as fuck, but just didn't quite measure up to it. I think it was the lack of balancing that did for it, really.
I mean, they're trying. I mean, I can see where they're coming from. They're trying to make basically a melee version of a first-person shooter, weren't they? Really?
Yeah, I didn't quite pull it off, but still, it's an interesting game. Something everyone should play a couple of times just to see what it's like.
Or Chivalry.
Fucking loved Chivalry. But again, try playing Chivalry now. It's just super experts and nobody else.
Yeah.
Which is such a shame, because back in the day, that was as fun as hell, Chivalry. It really was. They announced the Division 2, didn't they?
Division 2, yes. Or is it now called the Premier League? Was it? No, it's a championship, isn't it? Championship.
That's it, yes. I was just laughing because it's football, so I didn't...
Yeah.
I knew the reference, but I didn't know specifically enough. Yeah, I mean, the Division was one of those things that everybody was super excited about, and then nobody really liked, wasn't it?
I got bloody bored the hell out of it. I played it with Mr. Biffo once, and he got bored halfway through and left the game.
Bloody hell.
That's the first time he ever played it as well.
Oh, painful.
Basically, you couldn't play the PvP part of the game until you got to a high enough level, and then people just got in there and just got bullied. Like, you just find gangs of people who are just looking for people playing on their own, just rip you apart.
That just sounds horrible.
It is. And basically went around robbing people all the time. That's all they'd done. And they didn't even bother picking up your stuff half the time. They just went around killing people for a laugh.
Griefers, the game.
It's not really... I mean, that's what you're supposed to do in the game, but it just doesn't make it any fun.
Yeah. Oh, well, there wasn't much information about 2, but it'd be interesting to see where it goes.
Well, it's set in Washington now, which is basically the only place they can really go. I mean, the other one is Hollywood, really. Or Las Vegas.
They're all going to look pretty much the same, except for Las Vegas, aren't they, anyway?
Well, Hollywood would be quite good, maybe.
Not super interested in that.
Well, our first one was so boring, I don't want to play it. It's so grindy in that, and basically there's no fun in it, just fighting other humans. I mean, it's supposed to be like this virus infection where it's killed loads of people and people surviving and stuff. You just think, stick a couple of zombies in there, please. I mean, isn't it a game you're begging for bloody zombies to be put in the game? You know it's shit.
The Division 2, this time even more tedious.
Yes.
Oh, right. So this was young Hobbit man came up, didn't he, and gave us his mighty speech, the mighty Elijah Wood. It was for Transference, right? This is a kind of live-action VR thing, and it was going to be like VR only, but now it's not VR only. You'll be able to play it on a normal screen and stuff. It's like a sort of horror game based around everything glitching, like you're in some sort of computer simulation that's going down or something. And that's all I saw about it, really. I mean, it looked visually interesting, but horror games always do, and often fall down when you play them, don't they? So
they do, yeah.
Don't know, really.
That's a shame. I'm famous and I haven't been in movies for a while, so I thought I'd be into games.
What's that voice? Can anybody hear something? Get the magnifying glass. It's Elijah Wood, everyone.
Someone get the dog to come along to translate. You only can hear him.
What's he saying, Lassie? There's a new game out. It's like that downsizing film with Matt Damon, but in real life. Yeah. Oh dear. Something called Starlink Battle for Atlas or something. A space exploration game.
This is Bethesda, isn't it? No, it's not. It's that Ubisoft thing. It's basically it's where they're trying to do their own version of Skylanders and stuff like that, where you buy spaceships and you can stick guns onto it and they appear in the game.
Oh, I know what this is. I hadn't made the connection, but yeah, I remember hearing about that before. You can only play as Fox McCloud on Switch, somebody told me.
Well, obviously, yeah.
So,
unfortunately, I haven't really got any space characters for the other games, so they can lump it.
Yeah.
I'm sure they'll try and shoehorn in bloody Luke Skywalker or something.
Oh, God, yes. Bloody hell. But yeah, hopefully No Man's Sky, but fun. But who knows?
I think it's going to be like Star Fox in general, really, just going around taking down bosses and stuff like that.
Yeah,
like the boss levels of Star Fox 64, stuff like that. That's what it comes across to me.
I'm glad there are at least some spaceship games being made now, because we had a fallow period of like decades, didn't we, or more?
Yeah.
It's just
nothing. I think sort of elite, dangerous sort of kicked the ball rolling again, didn't it?
Yes, absolutely. Then No Man's Sky went nuclear, and then turned out to be a nuclear squib. It's a new Trials game, isn't it?
Yes, Trials
Rising.
Rising. Yes,
Yeah.
it's going to be loads. It's going to be starring loads of other sort of Ubisoft games and stuff like that, isn't it? That's what it looked like to me. It's got like a Far Cry level, an Assassin's Creed level, stuff like that.
Fair enough. And an interesting way. I mean, Trials is a sort of game where you can fit stuff like that in, I suppose, isn't it? So.
Well, when I look at Trials, all I can think is a bloody Kickstart thing.
Yeah. Do. Be My Boogie Woogie Baby is the name of that song.
Boogie Woogie Baby, Boogie Boogie Baby,
Oh, that's the one.
boom, boom, sha la 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 la.
And then there was another amazing trailer for Beyond Good and Evil 2 and no gameplay, and we still don't really know if development started properly on it.
Yes, they got a Cockney monkey.
Yep,
And
I'm right up for a Cockney monkey. And the main character's hair is now like fucking amazing. In fact, I'd probably buy it for her haircut alone. But they really need to be, showing some gameplay footage and stuff because it's getting a bit troubling now.
I know, when you got pre-rendered stuff all over them. I mean, I think they probably brought it out for E3 because people have always start going, "Oh, it's cancelled now." That's why nobody's brought it up. And it has already been cancelled once, Beyond Good and Evil 2. So.
Yes, it absolutely has. But yeah, so I mean, at least they're showing us stuff to show us it's keeping going. But we really need some sort of in-game footage. Would be nice at this stage,
Well, they showed a bit last year, but it was just flying around the spaceship.
Yeah, great. And speaking of pre-rendered trailers, Bethesda. Who are like the king of trailers. They just showed a load of trailers and pissed off, basically.
Yeah, put Todd Howard in there to give him a couple of lies and that to come on stage with. And
yeah. Yes, it turns out the grass is made of jam. Thanks, Todd. Thanks, mate. Yeah. So Fallout 76 was big whoop. Again, just a pre-rendered trailer, but
it's going to be online only, no NPCs in the game.
Oh, that's actually worse than I thought. I mean, but it's going to be 4 times bigger than Fallout 4. Who cares in an open world game? Just like it doesn't matter if it's fucking massive. It just means you have to travel further to find shit. People were like whooping and hollering. They said it's 4 times bigger. Like, it doesn't. It's a fucking open world game, guys. As long as it's bigger than your house, you're probably going to be all right.
So, did you see the pre-order stuff for it though?
Oh, I didn't. No, what are they offering this time? A Pip-Boy that actually fucking works?
No, it's actually the helmet of the
Brotherhood of Steel.
Yes, actual full-sized helmet you can actually wear, not just like a tiny helmet like they always try to off
fucking Halo one. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's interesting. They do nice collector's editions, but yeah, the worst thing about Fallout 76 is people going, "Oh, I haven't played the previous 75," which is going to be in every review. Look out for it.
Yes, it's the lazy old journalist thing. Just like Star Wars, when there's a terrible Star Wars game review, this is not the game you're looking for. And if it's good, it's the Force is strong with this one.
Yeah. Oh, God. Bloody hell. Rage 2 we mentioned.
Yes.
You're going to be able to drive lots of different vehicles. That's
about
all we
quite
can say,
fun.
really.
It does. They've ramped up all the sort of fun and silliness of it. Basically, they've just made what's his name? The other post-apocalyptic game that hasn't come out yet, Borderlands.
Oh!
Basically, that's just Borderlands. Borderlands, really, aren't they?
Making a game more fun, not usually a bad thing. So, fingers crossed in that one. And as we were saying, I think Rage 1 is underrated. So
it's a very serious game as well. I mean, so they're trying to go what it would be like in a post-apocalyptic future.
Yeah, fucking horrible. And you probably wouldn't want to play a game actually based on it. It'd just be really depressing. Yeah. Oh, your kids are dead. Oh.
But they've got a nice special edition as well. Have you seen the special edition?
I haven't. No, I've not seen any of the special editions.
It's like a big mouth Billy Bass thing.
Oh yeah.
They got a singing mutant head. Yeah, and it sings when you walk past it.
I've got to see a picture of that.
And it's voiced by Andrew WK as well.
Of all people.
Yeah.
Because he did come on stage singing, didn't he?
Yeah, well, his music's in the game as well.
Yeah, literally a singing head. That fucking hell, that's a thing. Blimey. Try to think. Oh god, they did announce Elder Scrolls 6.
Yes, right at the end.
But with no information whatsoever.
No, that's not going to come out for a couple of years. That's going to be like a PlayStation 5 game as well.
Yeah.
Because they've run out of systems to put Skyrim on this.
Yeah, fucking hell. Skyrim still too similar to Oblivion for my liking. But I just hope they fix...
Oblivion's in Skyrim. They found it. People sort of hacked the game and it's there.
Really?
Yes.
Bloody hell.
They don't know why they never used it. But yeah, nearly all of Morrowind is in Skyrim. They just haven't let people access it for some reason.
That's bloody strange. Morrowind or Oblivion?
Oblivion. What was the last one?
Oblivion.
One before. Well, Oblivion,
so
yeah,
it was,
sorry. Morrowind's the third one, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah. Bloody hell, like.
So, yeah.
Yeah, still nothing. I just hope they fix the melee, because it is still just like running around waving a feather duster at people, do you know what I mean?
Basically, bloody sort of Rochambeauing each other, sort of twatting each other until one of you falls over and stuff. That's what I felt.
I mean, I still enjoy it, but I don't know. Skyrim was always a bit of a disappointment to me because it felt like less of a game than Oblivion in some ways, and less visual variety as well. There we go.
At least you get to mod the game for a Thomas the Tank Engine that sounds like Randy Savage.
Yes, that's true. I mean, when you've got that in, I mean, you can't complain.
Randy Savage Thomas the Tank Engine.
I mean, most of the mods you install for these bloody Elder Scrolls games are just bug fixes that Bethesda haven't done. But, you know. Oh dear. And they also got that. Sorry, man. Yeah.
They got like a space game as well.
Yeah, that you mentioned earlier, Starfield.
I think, is that going to be bloody Skyrim in space?
No idea. I don't think anything was said about it much, other than we're making a space game.
Because, I mean, isn't that Mass Effect, basically? Skyrim in space.
Maybe. I got the impression it was more spaceshipy, but maybe it isn't.
Or they're trying to sort of go after Star Citizen's money.
Yeah, that's crazy, isn't it? Absolutely crazy.
There's so much money's being thrown into that game.
There's people spending thousands of dollars on a single ship, and I mean, it's still in alpha, for God's sake. You're not even online with it properly yet, you know.
Well, they're doing one at the moment for $30,000.
Oh, shit.
Because you get a collection of ships, though, for that, but...
Oh, that's all right, then.
Yeah, that's right, yeah, there you go.
A collection of unreal ships for a game that's not going to be completed for 1 million years, you know.
Yeah.
Bloody hell. That's such a weird thing. There'll be when.
Also, it's only available, this deal, to people who already put over $1,000 into the game.
Holy shit! They know their audience, don't they?
Yeah.
I tell you what, when this is all said and done, I'm really looking forward to your fact hunt video on it.
No, it's the Vega Plus. That is. I'm not.
Oh man, yeah, I'm looking forward to that bugger. Yeah. I don't know the full details of that. I'm literally just waiting for your video. They've announced an Elder Scrolls card game, didn't they? Elder Scrolls Legends.
Oh, yeah, going after Gwent from The Witcher, aren't they, or something?
Yeah, presumably. I mean, I like a good card game, but there's an awful lot of them these days, you know.
I just bought Uno the other day on the PS4. I'll be playing that.
Bloody Uno, classic. Man, that was an early 360 game as well, wasn't it? You could play on
it was, yes.
Yeah.
And made use of the camera, so...
Yeah.
Basically, half of it is just looking at German penises.
Yeah.
Half the game.
Which I think was the subtext of Uno all along. So, you know, it was about time they got it in there. You know.
German Schlongs edition.
More Doom, wasn't there? Doom Eternal?
Yes,
were there any
Eternal.
details on that?
No. It's as soon as they also do that shot of a skull, don't they, on the floor, and you think, oh, somebody's going to stand on that, aren't they? Oh, well, they did, yeah.
Oh, that makes a nice change.
That's going to right pain in the arse getting that out, all that goo from that. So, don't come walking in the house with that. I'm not having fucking dragging in brains.
If you're going to do it barefoot, because you can wash your foot easier. Oh, Mum, that's disgusting.
I'm not having you dragging in demon brains in the house. Just bloody what's that?
Bloody hell. So is it just more levels? So does anyone know?
I honestly don't know.
No, I don't.
I honestly don't know, because they've given nothing away. But I announced Quake Championships as well, which is a free-to-play version of Quake.
Interesting.
Which they've already done several times before. But...
I was going to say, that's a thing that already existed. Yes.
Yeah, they're Quake Live, isn't it? You could run it off HTML browser.
Bloody hell!
That was quite clever. But yeah, if you're really quick enough, you can download it for free at the moment. Of course, you're going to pay for it soon, which means nobody's going to buy the bloody thing. But... Yeah,
that's an odd setup.
Do you think you could take the fast pace first-person shooter anyway. Even when go around bunny hopping everywhere, if you can't shoot them.
Oh, there was a VR game they announced based on Wolfenstein, Cyberpilot.
Oh yeah, it's set in the 80s.
Yeah.
It's going to be his daughter's, even though he had a son technically. Commander Keen was his son.
Oh, really?
Yes.
I never knew that. Where you like hack into a Panzerhund, one of the big fire-breathing robot dog things.
Yeah.
And go around and fuck shit up, I presume.
Oh.
Sounds like quite a fun VR thing. That's it, I think, from Bethesda, isn't it?
To my knowledge.
Yeah.
Yes.
Unfortunately, that means we have to move on to bloody Electronic Arts.
EA.
It's in the game.
Yeah, especially loot crates.
Yeah. They were literally when they were talking about Battlefield 5, they said there will be no loot boxes. People going, woo! It's like, well, come on! Don't whoop them for doing the bare fucking minimum.
This is the world we're coming. We have to thank people for not screwing us over.
But yeah, thank you for not killing my son for no reason. Thank you. Woo! Oh, that's a slightly extreme example, but bloody hell, God. I don't know, it's just more Battlefield, isn't it?
Battlefield 5, where you play as a woman. No, you can't have that now. And she's got a robot arm. Since when did they make robot arms out of fucking wood?
Isn't it just one of those ones where you pull a bit of wire down and it clamps?
Yeah, it's a prosthetic arm, yeah.
Yeah, it's not a robot, is it?
Yeah, robot arm, yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, they could do that. I mean, they said it's their interpretation of World War II.
They probably do need to put something interesting, but they won't go far enough. If it was crazy alt history World War II shit, that might be a bit more exciting. But in fact, they did do a secret weapons of World War II, like with unreleased vehicles and stuff, and jetpacks and shit, or jump packs, not actually jetpacks. But God, that was years ago, wasn't it? But, yeah.
They've done that for Battlefield 1. They had some like super secret weapons they released for like bonus things, like the tiny, tiny gun that you could shoot one bullet out of, and it's like the size of a pencil head, the bullet.
Ha! That's quite interesting, but I don't know, it'd take a lot more than just having a female character in it to get me interested in bloody Battlefield again, I think.
It's got a really annoying Cockney accents as well, which annoy me.
Oh. All right, love a duck. Go on.
Yeah, that's just what Americans think how English speak all the time.
I'm up for a Cockney monkey, but I don't want an entire
hello, mate.
regiment. Yeah. Oh, blimey. Apples and yet also pears, which I'm referring to as the stairs. And,
Yes. Elephant and castle, stick up your arsehole.
My favourite rhyming slang, right there. Oh.
And guess what special mode they announced for that?
Battle Royale?
Yeah.
Jesus. Let's just move on. God almighty. So tedious.
Did you see the announcement they done for Star Wars Battlefront 2? It's basically the bloke on stage apologising for 15 minutes.
I did not know that.
It was brilliant. Sorry.
We had this really good game idea and we just fucked it totally.
We completely fucked up. Not only did we alienate our audience, we've alienated Disney so much they've taken the license away from us.
God almighty. At least, hopefully we can get a sort of proper Battlefront game with a load of crazy vehicles and shit in the future.
Yeah, I just wanted to just remake the original Battlefronts. That's what we wanted. I mean, all that is just bloody Battlefield with...
Yeah. With Star Wars, but also with those bloody crazy ship battles where you could jump into an X-wing, shoot loads of shit, fly into the enemy vehicle or the enemy ship and jump out and shoot the engine.
Yeah.
I mean, it was a bit bare bones, but God, it was fun.
Yeah. It was fun. Yeah. I mean, I had so little respect for the audience in the first Battlefront game. You didn't even need to reload guns.
No. Just fun.
Oh, yeah.
It was a Star Wars name announced, wasn't it, from EA? So they've still got the license for a little bit, at least.
Yeah.
Jedi Fallen Order.
Ooh.
A third-person action game set during the fall of the Jedi, which is like post-Episode 3.
So, yes.
And that's all the details.
Order 66.
Yeah, exactly. Execute Order 66.
Yes.
The spicy chicken.
Yeah, we'll have to look in the loot crate for that.
Yeah.
Emperor Palpatine. Oh, unfortunately, you've just one alternate armour.
No! Oh, not
for Jar Jar Binks.
Lando Calrissian's new hair gel. Yeah. Bloody hell.
You've got underwater Jar Jar Binks.
Wet look, Jar Jar Binks. Yeah. Good God. They announced a new NBA Live game, NBA Live 19, so that's good.
They announced that Madden is coming to the PC for the first time in 11 years.
Bloody hell.
Which is, you just don't care. I mean, did you even notice it wasn't on PC
No,
for 11 years?
Not at all. But I'm surprised it wasn't. I thought they put that out on everything because it's super popular in America, isn't it?
Mm.
Fair enough. Oh, God, Anthem again.
Yes, Anthem, which was supposed to come out last November, mysteriously got delayed until next year. Hint, hint, loot crate removal.
Oh, yeah. Look, no, it's one of those games that just kind of doesn't excite anybody. I don't know why that is.
Because it's bloody. They thought, what was Activision's other game? Bungie. What's the Bungie game that Activision? Like Destiny.
Oh, of course, fucking hell, yes.
Bloody Destiny.
Yeah,
isn't it?
Destiny where everyone's Iron Man.
Yeah.
So just can't get any interest in that one. Maybe it'll be the best game ever, but I fucking doubt it. Hopefully it'll be improved now they've removed the loot box. There was some cloud streaming guff mentioned, wasn't there? And they said play games anywhere, anytime. What the fuck are you talking about, you idiot? If you've have an always-on internet connection, you can't play games anywhere, anytime. A fucking Game Boy or a Switch, that will let you play games anywhere, anytime. When you add a necessary internet connection, you take that away.
So is this a streaming service they're announcing?
Yeah, it seemed to be, yeah. Just like on live, only the same.
So you can... I like the idea you don't have to have a decent PC to stream stuff.
I think that was it. Actually, I haven't written down many details, and I found it so annoying.
I just didn't care. I cared so little.
I really did. It was just like, oh god, here we go.
Just make up conversations, Stuart. Jesus, just write something down. EA. Oh.
Well, what did you write down on this one then?
I didn't write anything down. I just give you shit.
So it wasn't just me then. On this one, I am. Oh god. So it's something. It's called Origin Access.
Yeah. Is it Premier? Origin Access Premier or something? Or Prime?
Probably Super Prime.
Yeah.
Real estate.
So not only do you have to pay for the basing of downloading games, that you have to pay extra on top to stream them as well.
Oh, they bought the tech from GameFly. I didn't realise.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so that's making more sense. Yeah. So stream it to your whatever device, I suppose.
Who bought On Live then?
Nobody. I think they just went tits up, didn't they?
Oh, that's a bit weird.
Don't know. That's a good question, actually. I'm going to have a look and see.
Oh, interesting. Let's find out together.
Let's look into it, children, and learn. Sony bought their patents.
Oh, okay. Because I thought they bought that other company. That they had another company that they bought, didn't they? That was streaming.
Gaikai.
Yes,
yeah. Did. They bought them both and turned it into PlayStation Now. Yeah.
Sounds like somebody trying to clear their throat, isn't it?
Gaikai. Oh god, but yeah, that just annoyed me so much with the play games anywhere, anytime thing that I was just like, fuck off. Oh, sorry, man.
So, do you think the Netflix of gaming will catch on?
We would need such better internet connections, and it's never going to catch on for handhelds, is it? Imagine trying to run that over 4G. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's always an inferior experience as well. People don't like the lag, which is entirely understandable. Yeah. The only other thing I've got down from EA was Sea of Solitude.
Oh, that looked quite good, actually.
It didn't it? Yeah.
Crow girl on a boat.
Yeah, sort of really hairy people in a weird sort of cartoony adventure.
Yeah, it looked quite interesting.
It looked creepy as all hell, actually. Just really cool.
Bit of a Attack on Titan vibe.
Yes. Yeah, that giant mouth which comes up at one stage and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, absolutely. I thought the same thing. But yeah, just really like the look at that. Just looks creepy and cool and a bit different, and totally down for that.
And they've got Unrivaled 2, where you play as a blue yarn person.
I did not know that. Well, I never played Unrivaled. Was it good?
It was all right. It's a sort of a typical sort of platformy game where you're a person made out of string. You have to make bridges and swing and things like that. That sort of platform puzzle game, as it were. But with the next one, you can play as a friend. You play with a friend.
Oh, and
Or
then
if you play your own, you have to carry the other person everywhere. Which is quite fun.
And version 3 coming out next year, will you play with 100 people and it's Battle Royale?
Battle Royale string.
Just choking them to death with it and whipping them with it. Oh dear. I suppose the only other major company to talk about is old Square Enix.
Oh, what did they do?
Well, they didn't show anything to do with Final Fantasy VII Remake, obviously. They had Kingdom Hearts 3.
Again, yes, that's another thing they've been pushing out forever.
Yeah, they've added Pirates of the Caribbean to it.
Which they had. Didn't they have in the last one?
I genuinely can't remember. Seems to have been going on forever, this one.
I bet they didn't have announced the second half of that Deus Ex game.
No,
released.
Didn't see anything about that. Do you think they're going to add Star Wars to Kingdom Hearts 3 at some stage?
I couldn't see why not, but it's quite a hot property, and they might try and demand exclusivity or something.
Yeah. I think if there is a problem, it will be some sort of contractual one. Who knows? There's a Shadow of the Tomb Raider, which looks...
Shadow of the Tomb Raider, which that got leaked about 2 years ago because somebody saw it reading on a bus.
That's got to be the greatest leak ever. It just looks really similar to the last two, really, doesn't it?
It does, yes.
Yes, it's kind of a bit Uncharted, and Lara Croft's in it, and really.
Yeah, actually get beaten up by a tree every 5 seconds.
Yeah, I do worry that some of those games are just watch a woman get horribly injured simulator. You know, God. So there was an interesting thing. The Quiet Man.
Yes.
Nobody seems to know. There's just that weird and slightly sort of cheap-looking live-action trailer. And that's it. Like, so what is this game? Don't know.
I've gone a bit quiet about
it. That's it. It's just vaporware. They never tell you. Just one day it's released, but they don't tell you either. It just appears in your game library. Oh dear. So yeah, that was an odd one. That's sort of interesting, but only because really of the total lack of detail about it.
Yeah, there's a couple of complaints about games they didn't show at E3 this year. They're working on an Avengers game at the moment.
Yeah, there's no mention of that. No mention of Red Dead Redemption 2, which was surprising.
No, that's quite well. And that's supposed to come out in November.
Yeah, so nothing on that at all.
And obviously, like we said earlier, the Final Fantasy VII Remake. I reckon it's been put back till 2022.
Unbelievable. Jesus.
Yeah. Babylon's Fall was announced for the
yes, it was.
PC and PlayStation 4.
That's a Platinum Games run around and hit things game, isn't it?
Yeah, well, mate, that's basically most of their games, isn't it?
Yeah, well, true, but Platinum Games does it particularly well, I feel. A very Dark Souls-looking world in Babylon's Fall.
Oh, also people are announcing there's no mention of Bayonetta 3 either at E3.
Oh, was that... Yeah, that's a good point. I hadn't picked up on that. Well, next year, maybe. Who knows? The only other...
I do think a lot of game companies are keeping quiet so they can announce stuff for the next generation consoles.
Yeah. There's going to be a lot of that now. Because now they've said they're coming in a couple of years.
Yeah, I think we'll have them. They'll definitely be here by November 2020. So.
Yeah, absolutely.
But yeah, I mean, because Ubisoft messed up big time and now showing off Watch Dogs for the PS4 and Xbox One before they even announced the name of the consoles, or even they existed, and they announced, Ubisoft showed a game off for it. So that people sort of trying to keep quiet now because they sort of realised they put their foot in it because they released a sort of vastly inferior game for it as well.
Yeah, that did not go down well, did it? Bloody hell. I think that's it from... Oh no, Octopath Traveler.
Oh, yes.
Just a very traditional looking RPG, really, sort of 2D, 3D hybrid thing. It's exciting, isn't it? Yeah. If you like your RPGs, that certainly will be one.
It is. So yeah, this is. I think it's a typical sort of E3 where there's sort of no new consoles announced or anything in that. So it's like relied entirely on games. So
you know that next year's is going to be a bit shite, isn't it? Because they're going to be holding so much back for the new consoles.
They're either going to be holding everything stuff back, or it's going to be talking about hardware for 2019.
Ooh, that could. Yeah, they could bring in the hardware soon, couldn't they? Oh God! And then you have that tedious year and a half before it's actually fucking released. Yeah. My only other notes are Hitman 2.
Oh yeah, that was quite quiet.
Yeah.
Did they?
I don't think they gave any information, did they?
No, not to my knowledge.
No, just that it's coming. Again, because there was already a Hitman 2 years ago, Silent Assassin, and Farming Simulator 2019, which will have a Battle Royale mode.
Battle Royale tractor mode.
Actually, that would sound pretty cool.
Fucking yeah, John Deere Battle Royale.
What I really wanted was a PlayerUnknown Battlegrounds announcement of a Mad Max mode, where you just got a massive empty map, you're all in cars, and you just have assault rifles, or shotguns, even better.
Well, they've already done that on H1Z1. That sort of mode. Auto Royale.
Oh, man. See, that's the answer. I've got to get my PlayStation set up so I can
actually, I should do that. Actually, Sony should do that at Twisted Metal. That might be a good sequel, wouldn't it?
Oh, man.
That would be brilliant.
Hasn't been a Twisted Metal game since PS2, has there?
Three. There's one.
Was there?
Yeah, didn't do very well, unfortunately. But yeah, I love Twisted Metal.
I didn't know there was a PS3 one.
I didn't know there was a PS3. I thought they just skipped to
PS3, like Microsoft did with Windows 9. Yes.
Yeah.
Twisted Metal. How the hell did I miss a game series I like? How incredibly annoying. Yeah. 2012.
Oh, yeah. Only 6 years out then, Stu. So.
Yeah, bloody hell. It obviously didn't do that well, so I didn't hear a single fucking thing about it.
No, it's unfortunately, no.
That's a shame. It's an interesting series, Twisted Metal. And as we were saying before we started recording, Destruction Derby must be due a comeback at some stage.
Yeah, that's what I said. I should have just hired Bugbear to sort of port their Wreckfest engine over for because that's pretty much is Destruction Derby. Oh, and the only thing it's missing is like the cheesy rock music and that bloke, that hillbilly trying to do the voice. Well, an English bloke pretending to be a hillbilly. Third place, second place. Nice move.
Man, I'd forgotten him.
Yeah.
My God. Well, there we go. I think that's all for E3 this year.
There's a couple of tiny things.
Far away, sir.
Let's have a yeah. I'm just having a quick look because I mentioned a couple. Well, I didn't mention a couple. We have got the Walking Dead game. Apparently, Overkill's The Walking Dead. That looks quite good.
Another one.
Yes.
What's that really terrible one? The FPS type one they made.
Yeah.
Survival something.
Yeah, that was you play as what's his name, the Dixon brothers before, like they met up with Carl, not Coral. I know, Rick.
Oh, I'm going to have to look this up now because
I really want to. I knew that bombed. I wanted to get it for the Wii U, and because I thought, it's going to be cheaper than that, but it goes for silly money for some reason.
Oh, I didn't know it was out on Wii U.
Yeah, it's like 35, 40 quid still. Why is it so expensive?
That's mental. Do you think Wii U games are going to go through the roof now?
Not for a while. Only stuff like Zelda and Mario is going to be worth quite a bit. I mean, there's still a bit of shovelware for it, isn't there? So it's never going to get to PS2 levels. You can get games like 10. I went to CX and I bought like games like 5p from there.
Bloody hell!
Most of them are crap, like Truth or Dare and stuff like that. But
Walking Dead Survival Instinct.
Oh, that's it. Yes.
Yeah, fucking hell. Absolutely awful.
Dead or Alive 6.
Oh, goodness.
Yes, and they said they've made the breasts smaller in the game now and made less revealing clothing.
That's probably for the best because it was getting ridiculous. But on the other hand, wasn't that their only selling point?
Yeah, exactly. It was a fighting game with a massive pair of tits.
Yeah, but it's completely unbalanced and blah blah blah.
Well, they would be, wouldn't they? Really,
literally unbalanced. Everyone's got backache. Yeah. Oh dear. And they're just bizarre physics that just made no sense whatsoever. God. They're not doing another extreme beach volleyball, are they?
Nothing yet, but you can't really count on them. They always do. Wasn't there about Battlefield, Call of Duty Black Ops 4, they said it was going to be online only at one point, and we're going to get rid of the single player.
And replace it with Battle Royale by any chance?
There is a Battle Royale mode for it, yes.
Mm.
But they're going to be calling it Blackout, just to make things different.
Great. that's me sold.
Sorry, I just saw the amazing pause then. I thought you're getting so excited.
Yes. Wow, they've called it something slightly different. Oh, dearie me.
So yeah, but poor old player unknown getting salty about Fortnite. He's going to get like a tsunami of rivals that's going to destroy his company.
Yeah, bloody hell! I mean, everything has a battle royale mode in it, and then they'll be doing this until probably next E3. It'll be dead because everyone will have just bled it dry.
Yeah. Well, I think it's going to be around for a while. It's like whenever we were a couple of years ago in games, whenever we got excited about Capture the Flag or King of the Hill mode and stuff like that. And people got excited about those new modes and that.
Mind you, none of them had a game behind them with the sort of impetus of PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds and then Fortnite.
Mm.
I think it's because they've had two super popular games in a row, basically, haven't they, with that?
Well, they've had quite a few. I mean, H1Z1 was massively popular.
Yeah, that's a lot. It is the flavour of the month. That doesn't mean you can just stick it in your game and it'll help.
Mm.
Sometimes I have to plan these things a bit better than that.
Exactly.
Look at what was the 80s theme one? Radical Heights?
Radical Heights, yeah, well, that was Cliffy B, wasn't it? Just he realised his bloody Lawbreakers bombed his $1 billion franchise and all that $60 bullshit that he said that bombed. I got 6 copies of the physical edition of that. So.
Why? Was it a punishment for something?
No, what is bloody have you ever bought anything from Limited Run?
Oh, I don't think I have. I was looking at their site recently, but I don't think I ordered anything, if I remember.
Oh, okay, you got sometimes it's like it's going to be a popular game. You've got to get on that site the second it goes on there. Night Trap sold out within 20 seconds, and like
holy shit,
3,000 copies for sale. Yeah, so it's nuts. Some of the people, but for some reason, nobody wanted Lawbreakers so much that the only way you could actually pre-order Wonder Boy, which everyone did want, is if we had to buy the bundle with Lawbreakers. So, anyhow, yeah, I ordered that because I wanted to get Wonder Boy. So, the fact that everybody wants a 30-year-old port of a Master System game over Cliffy B's new game.
Oh, that's gotta hurt.
Yeah.
Oh, bloody hell.
Yeah, no, they ended up bloody sending me 6 copies of it.
Shit!
2 of them, like the collector's edition as well, which I don't think anyone cares about. But
oh, it's kind of sad.
I might take a photo and just retweet it to Cliffy B, make him feel better. Have you played Radical Heights at all?
I haven't, no. I've heard it's quite good.
It's quite... Well, it's got a load of asset flipping in it, so there's loads of stuff from other games, but the presentation is fantastic. It's done in a sort of a cheesy 80s sort of game show style.
Oh.
So it's really, really good.
Is it still playable at the moment?
It is. It's actually... But it takes quite a while to get a lobby going.
Oh, because everyone's playing Fortnite or whatever, yeah.
Yeah, everyone's playing Fortnite, but it's a free game. You can still play. It's like I said, yeah, it's quite fun. It's quite fun. I enjoyed it. Yeah, it's changed slightly from the normal thing where you can only find guns from vending machines and you have to sort of scrape around town, smashing cash registers and safes and that to get the money to buy them.
Interesting.
And you get like you do get weapons in the game, but you only find like basic weapons like pistols and stuff.
And if you want the smart sniper rifle or assault rifle, you've literally got to save up cash by smashing the shit out of things.
Yes, but then they ruined the concept by basically pay to win, where you can transfer money that you've actually bought previously, so you can go straight to a vending machine and buy a gun straight away.
Oh, so that is just you were totally selling me on it, and now you've totally put me off.
Well, no, on the plus side, nobody's done that, so you have got a fighting chance.
Oh, good, that's all right then.
Nobody wants to give money to a dead game, really, basically. So
no, I can understand that.
So yeah, no, like I said, play it a couple of times. It's worth playing. It's not a bad game. It's just it's just got poor old Cliffy B behind it.
He's not been doing well recently, has he?
Oh, I like Cliffy B as well.
Yeah, he's such a nice guy, but that's a shame. But my God, it must be hard to break into bloody battle royale games at the moment with Fortnite just running away with everything. Mind you, I suppose that's going to lose the popularity of something else in a month or two, isn't it? I suppose.
Yeah, nothing ever lasts forever. It's like Five Nights at Freddy's. Nobody plays that anymore, do they?
Oh
really?
God, yeah. You still action figures of that everywhere.
Oh, that's the problem with these things. They always get the merchandise out too late. When nobody cares about it anymore.
It takes too bloody long to design and get this stuff out in quality, doesn't it? As you say, by the time it's reached the shops, too damn late.
They done it with another game, didn't they? Minecraft. It took ages to come out any merchandise.
Oh, that was insane. That took bloody years, didn't it? Poundland had these astonishing...
Is it the YouTuber leg ones?
Oh, they did have those, yes. Yeah, they did have a few of those. But they had official Minecraft, like Matchbox cars. Now, the worst things I've ever seen. It's literally just the minecart. But it's just so badly rendered because it's in that sort of block. It's basically a cube with wheels. No wonder they ended up in bloody Poundland.
It's the same.
Ah, well, that's 2 hours of E3, Larry.
Yes. So overall, what do you give it out of 10 this year?
I would say it's not a bad one this year, but it loses a lot of points for too many, pre-rendered trailers. Sorry, cinematic trailers.
Yes, or bull shots.
30 bull shots a second.
Yeah.
But as E3s go, I mean, there's a lot of games I'm really interested in here. I really want to see Sekiro Shadows Die Twice for obvious reasons. Really liking the sound of the game. I can't remember the name of the one where they're in Sea of Solitude. That was it.
Sea of, yeah.
And
Crow Girl.
That's it.
Crow Girl on a boat.
Crow Girl on a boat, which is also the name of my autobiography.
That's my band's name. Yeah.
Yes. A lot of little interesting bits. I would give this actually quite a high score this year. I would give it a 7 out of 10. What about yourself?
Yeah, no, it's a couple of things. I'm actually looking forward to Battlefield. I love Battlefield.
Ah, interesting.
So I'm quite interesting. I love it sort of. I don't like. It put me off for a while. I can't stand first-person shooters set in the sort of near future and present and that. It just bores me. I do like some sort of escapism and made up creativity in there.
Well, there we are. There's a little bit of that this time, isn't it? As long as you can jump in vehicles and piss about. I mean, that's really the joy of the Battlefronts.
Yes.
Battlegrounds. Battlefield. Bloody hell.
Battlefield and Battlefront. It's close.
Confusing.
I'm surprised they didn't just change the name to Star Wars Battlefield, really.
Yeah, they want to kind of keep its feeling as its own thing, but it kind of isn't its own thing now, is it? It is really quite obviously a Battlefield thing, just without the vehicles. Well, I mean, there are vehicles, but you have to do separate modes and shit.
It's a good year. I don't think like I said, I'm a bit worried about next year because we're not going to have the new. They're going to be showing Last of Us 2 again next year because that's what Sony like to do. They just like to show the same game over and over so many times. You're sick of the bloody thing.
I am seriously thinking that next year it is going to be fucking strapped because they're not going to release details of the new consoles and they'll be saving loads of games for them. So, yeah. And as you say, most of the things we'll see will probably be stuff that slipped from this year.
But saying that, the games released just before the new console releases are always the biggest selling.
Yeah.
Grand Theft Auto 5 was the biggest selling game on the PS3 and 360.
It's when the programmers have really got to terms with the hardware as well.
Because it's got a blurred line between what it looks like and that and next generation as well.
Yeah. Yeah, so there won't be many games, but what they show will be bloody impressive.
Yeah, they'll just be they'll be hinting at hardware, I reckon, for next year.
Yes, I don't think we'll have anything solid, but there'll be little tidbits they start dripping out to get you excited to buy the Xbox Potato Harvest, or whatever they call it in the next one. The Xbox Monkey Fertler.
Xbox 2.
Oh, God, they could do, couldn't they? They really could.
I hope they don't, because that's going to be...
Oh, my God. Because, I mean, we've had now Xbox 360, Xbox One, so stupid, Xbox One S, Xbox One X,
Yeah.
Where do they go from here?
Xbox O.
God. Oh, they'll just call this one Xbox again.
Yeah, Xbox. Just that's it. Yeah.
Yeah. That is my guess. And Sony's will be the PlayStation 5 because they've got a sensible numbering.
Well, they're all right with numbers. Yeah, they're quite good with numericals. Well, then they're going to call the PlayStation Vita was the 5th console in development, wasn't it? Like that's what they call it, the Vita, wasn't it? Because Vita means 5 in some language.
Oh, interesting. I didn't know that. I thought they were going for the Vita is life angle.
Ah. Pour water on it or something.
Yeah. It runs on water. A massive water wheel on the back of it. You have to keep pouring cups into it.
just to annoy you, we've pissed you off enough with arbitrary memory cards, but now we're going to have to water it as well. But yes, and we'll be back next year for another cynical rant about stuff that we hastily looked on Google because we forgot half of them.
I only had to look on Google twice, I think. Maybe 3 times, actually. Oh, dear. Yeah, that was a thing. But as I think the 2 takeaways, really, are that we need less fucking cinematic trailers.
Yeah, actually gameplay footage.
We need less Battle Royale modes. And Tetris VR will, of course, be the greatest thing ever, I'm convinced. Oh, wait, I'm lying.
Yeah, that's the saviour of VR. That's very little VR. Really, this year.
Yeah, I still wonder if VR gaming, they haven't quite sussed out yet. It's not going to be like other games. And I wonder if VR's killer app, so to speak, isn't going to be games at all. For sort of more experienced stuff. But I don't know, it's got kind of lumped in with games, and I don't think it's helping VR.
What are you saying was about the saviour of VR is going to be like a Dear Esther sort of game?
Maybe. I don't know if it'll be a game kind of at all in the traditional sense. I do wonder if ultimately the saviour of it will be something pornographic as well. Because once it gets cheap and people jump on that bandwagon, oh dear. Anyway, good to speak to you, my friend.
Yes.
Let us now not speak until 1 year goes past.
Yes, we shall return on the noon of the E3.
We shall write it in our diaries. We only speak after E3.
Yeah. Yes, we're silence for 12 months.
Yeah, we just hide in the cupboards. Is it E3 yet? No. Shut up and eat your fish heads.
Is it Gamescom? Oh, nobody gives a shit about that.
Yeah, oh, God. Imagine doing a Gamescom podcast. It lasts like 10 minutes. So, it's most of the stuff from E3.
Basically, we just post up our E3 podcast again, wouldn't we? So.
Yes. God. Right. Take care, my friend. Okay.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Thank you for watching, everybody, or listening.
And thank you for doing either.
Yeah, just thank you for tolerating us for all this time, really. But...
Thank you for your tolerance. Yes. That's another forgotten Stop It and Tidy Up character.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.